since Lorenzo Charles tipped in that shot that Derek Whittenberg missed for NC State when they beat Houston back in 1983. Women's NCAA final is tonight in Indianapolis. Three-time defending champ Connecticut facing Syracuse. The Huskies have been to 10 finals before this year. They have 10 titles. The Orange are in their first ever national final. You make the call. 2016 class of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame announced on Monday, headed by Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson. O'Neal won 4 NBA titles and an MVP award. Iverson led the association in scoring 4 times, also won an MVP. Joining them on the dais on September 9th will be Michigan State coach Tom Izzo, former Rocket star Yao Ming, the first big player from China. Well, he's a pretty big player from anywhere. Bulls owner Jerry Reinsdorf and Cheryl Swoops, the first player ever signed by the WNBA, where she won 3 MVPs and 4 championships after leading Texas Tech to the NCAA crown. Also to be honored posthumously will be longtime NBA referee Darryl Garrettson, John McClendon, the first black coach in a professional league, Zelmo Beatty, a star in the NBA and ABA in the 60s and 70s, and Cumberland Posey, who was not only a top basketball player in the early 20th century, but also a Negro Leagues baseball standout. He's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. In opening day in baseball, phase 2 on Monday, Dodgers drubbed the Padres 15-0, the most lopsided opening score in baseball history. Clayton Kershaw allowed 1 hit and 1 walk in 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. Adrian Gonzalez and A.J. Ellis each had 3 RBI for L.A. Cubs crushed the Angels 9-0, 7 scoreless innings for Jake Arrieta. He allowed 2 hits and struck out 6. Miguel Montero homered and drove in 3. Orioles trimmed the Twins 3-2. Matt Wieters with an RBI single in the 9th for the first walk-off win of 2016. Blue Jays dropped the Rays 5-3. Josh Donaldson with one of 3 Toronto dingers. Rangers sank the Mariners 3-2 despite managing just 1 hit off Felix Hernandez, a bloop single by Prince Fielder. But they bunched it up with 3 walks and 2 Seattle errors for a 3-run 5th inning. It snapped the Mariners' streak of 9 straight season-opening victories, just 1 off the all-time record. White Sox shaded the A's 4-3. Chris Sale struck out 8 in 7 innings. Sonny Gray, the scheduled Oakland starter, scratched because of food poisoning. Rich Hill made the start in his place. He's made 4 starts in the last 6 years. 36-year-old, his first opening day start. He didn't do too badly. Nationals nipped the Braves 4-3 in 10 innings. Bryce Harper homered. If that sounds familiar, it's the 4th time Harper has gone deep on opening day in his career. Daniel Murphy also homered. He added the RBI double that won the game in the extras. Giants barreled over the Brewers 12-3. Denard Span drove in 5 runs in his debut for San Francisco, including a 3-run homer in the 8th. Joe Panik and Buster Posey then followed with homers of their own, back-to-back jacks on opening day. Reds ripped the Phillies 6-2, scoring 5 times in the 8th. Rockies doubled up the Diamondbacks 10-5. Zach Greinke made his first start for Arizona, but the story was Trevor Story. The Rockies rookie hit 2 homers off Greinke, the first time a player making his major league debut had gone deep twice on opening day. The games between the Astros and Yankees and Red Sox and Indians were postponed by crummy weather with the hope of being made up today. The NBA took the night off so that they could watch the basketball game last night, maybe a little baseball too. Maybe they watched some hockey. The Islanders shocked the Lightning 5-2. John Tavares, his 30th goal and 2 assists. Rangers doubled up the Blue Jackets 4-2 to clinch a playoff berth. Panthers got past the Maple Leafs 4-3. Rocco Grimaldi scored twice. The win gives Florida its best record in franchise history with 99 points. Blues bested the Coyotes 5-2, coming back from down 2. Vladimir Tarasenko's 37th of the year put the note on top, and the Canucks clipped the Kings by a count of 3-2. That is Tuesday Sports. I am Robert Workman.
Thank you, sir. It's now 7 before the hour.
Be a clown, be a clown. All the world loves a clown.
Next, a clown commended. When America in the Morning returns after these messages.
First class, give them quips, give them fun, and they'll pay to say you're A1.
Remember when a small business needed a landline? Today, landlines are a thing of the past with Grasshopper, the entrepreneur's phone system. On the road, at the beach, or at home, Grasshopper helps you grow your business. Get all the features of a business phone system and the freedom of a cell phone with our iPhone and Android apps. Features include multiple extensions for your team, calls forwarded to your mobile phones, voicemails transcribed and emailed, and so much more. See how it works at grasshopper.com, the entrepreneur's phone system.
Do you have acne or even the occasional breakout? With prescription-grade Proactive Plus, your acne can heal and you can prevent future breakouts. Try Proactive Plus 100% risk-free. Plus, get 2 free gifts and free shipping. Take it from me, Proactive really works. Get prescription-grade Proactive Plus, their amazing skin purifying mask, and a second gift of your choice. Totally free and free shipping. You're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear, or you don't pay a penny. Call now, 800-281-8770. 800-281-8770.
The one constant in this world is change. Continuing and inevitable. Things here in Mason County are about to change for the better. iFIBER Communications is now a proud service provider for Mason County PUD 3. iFIBER Communications is now offering high-speed internet in Mason County. Next generation ISP services to your home and business. Next generation internet. 100 megabit per second speed to your home. Next generation television. High definition television unlike anything you've ever seen before. Next generation telephone. Never get a long distance bill again. iFIBER Communications is so much more than just an ISP. We're part of the story that is yet to be told here in Mason County. Change is here. iFIBER Communications. To find out more, stop by our offices, 3rd and Coda, or call 427-4000 or find us at iFIBER.tv.
It's 5 before the hour. David Daniel has more on a new Will Ferrell comedy in the works. But first, a treat for Fab 4 fans kicks off the Hollywood Minute.
You're now free to check out the Beatles anthology on all major streaming services. The Fab Four's 3-volume set, originally issued in the 90s and featuring previously unheard songs, studio outtakes, and more, has been remastered and is now on Spotify, Google Play, Tidal, Apple Music, and dozens of other services.
Will Ferrell!
Will Ferrell is headed to the Arctic. Sony Pictures has acquired the rights to a New York Times Magazine article, Ice Pack. An insurance salesman and a doctor walk into a bar and end up at the North Pole. Ferrell is attached to star in the comedy based on the true story of some middle-aged Minnesotans who decided in the 60s, over a beer, to mount a snowmobile expedition to the Arctic.
I don't know, is it essentially British?
Dame Judi does it again. Judi Dench has captured her 8th Olivier Award for excellence on the London stage. She was named this year's Best Supporting Actress for her turn in The Winter's Tale. The previous lifetime record was 7 Olivier Awards, held by Judi Dench. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's coming up on 3 before the hour here on America in the Morning. A Virginia clown is being recognized as best in the business. Nick Patrick details the man that fills some pretty big shoes.
The idea of becoming a clown may seem a little strange, but for Tom King and his wife, Jessica King, it's become a way of life.
Started clowning about when he was 40, and he always said he's been fired from every job he's ever had. So he decided to do something he enjoyed and work for himself.
King is being recognized by the Clowns of America International for a lifetime achievement for his 25-year career. He was named Clown of the Year in 2014 and has been a certified instructor for several years.
Tom's shows have always been geared to families. He could bring his grandkids and his great-grandma to a show. All would be entertained and all would be appropriate.
Recently, King has found a new mission. After having a stroke, he now has a condition called aphasia that limits his speech. He plans to travel the country to stroke support groups and pass on his love for the arts.
We're going to teach them to entertain and to clown using their strengths and really put on a show.
King says the best part about being a clown? The joy he brings to others.
As long as he can make a kid smile, it's all worth it.
I'm told as clowns age, they risk breaking their funny bone. You'll need a diving mask and a scuba tank to see this art exhibit. A dozen large photos sealed in plastic on an artificial reef lying in the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. Sinking World was created by Austrian art photographer Andre Frank. The pictures will stay up, or rather down, through July. Celebrating birthday today, former U.S. Secretary of State and former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Colin Powell, is 79. And that's it for America in the Morning for Tuesday, April 5th, 2016. Our producer, Tom Dulac, senior producer, Kevin Delaney. I'm John Trout, and this is Westwood One News.
Hi, everyone. This is Mark Tobert, your advertising consultant from iFIBER ONE Newsradio. Are you missing customers because you only market to a specific group? iFIBER ONE Newsradio can help you hit a larger group of buyers with our diverse audience. We are 24 hours of local and national breaking news award-winning talk radio, and primetime sports, including local high school sports. What does this mean to you? This means our listeners listen longer to entire programs and don't switch to another station when a commercial comes on. Our coverage in the Puget Sound area, it's over 500,000 listeners, including Mason County, Thurston County, Grace Harbor County, King, Pierce, Joint Base Lewis McCourt, and Kitsap County to the Bremerton Naval Base. All advertising is 100% tax deductible. So how can you afford not to advertise? Call me, Mark Tobert, at iFIBER ONE Newsradio to become a total audience plan advertiser. Just call 360-426-1030.
Dave Ramsey helps you handle your money. Weekdays from noon to 3 on iFIBER ONE News Radio, AM 1030, FM 103.3, KMAS Shelton.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Voting has begun in Wisconsin, where today's primary race could change the landscape of the presidential race. Ted Cruz is hoping a win will raise the odds of a brokered convention.
We are coming for you, and we are not coming to negotiate. We are not coming to sit down and talk. We're not coming to read you your rights and arrest you. If you are waging war against this country, we are coming to kill you.
Bernie Sanders is hoping for high voter turnout.
I don't want to get Hillary Clinton more nervous than she already is. So don't tell her this. I think we win here, we win in New York State, we're on our way to the White House.
The calendar isn't cooperating in the Midwest and the Northeast, where they're now battling snow, Arctic temperatures, and high winds. ABC's Lindsay Janis crunches the bone-chilling numbers.
In Syracuse, it's 10 degrees this morning. That is a record-breaking low for this day in April. It's also about 20 degrees colder than average for this time of year. This springtime winter weather has been wreaking havoc on roads across the Northeast. Overnight, you had blizzard-like conditions in Massachusetts. Nearly 1,900 workers there trying to clear roads. You had treacherous conditions, wreck after wreck.
Are you ready for some football? On Twitter, the social network has beaten out Amazon and Yahoo to win digital streaming rights to Thursday night NFL games. A critical step forward in Twitter's quest to attract new users and reach out to cord cutters. No school today at Villanova. Classes are canceled so students can celebrate the school's NCAA men's basketball championship. Is Tiger Woods about to retire? He's already said he's not playing in the Masters this year because he's not physically ready, and he's set no timetable for his return to golf. Some are worried that he has become a recluse. Doris Day was serenaded by a chorus of Que Sera, Sera from fans gathered outside her Southern California home to help her celebrate her 92nd birthday. This is ABC News.
QL1, does Rocket Mortgage require me to fill out a bunch of paperwork? Negative control. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is the first on-demand mortgage machine that quickly imports your financial data. You can go through the entire mortgage approval process in minutes. That is fast, like rocket fast. It also works on any internet-ready device, so you can get a Rocket Mortgage at any time or place you choose. Over. 3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Rocket.
Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS Consumer Access.org number 3030.
On the road with the candidates, connected by the new Priv BlackBerry Secure smartphone for your enterprise and your life at shopblackberry.com.
The race for the White House continues, and April is a big month. 5 states are in play on the 26th, including Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. 462 delegates are at stake for the Democrats, 172 on the Republican side. Now for the nomination, Democrats need 2,083 delegates, and the Republicans need 1,237. And that's On the Road with the candidates.
The first ever major exhibition of the Rolling Stones has opened in London. ABC's Tom Rivers has a preview.
The boys who range in age from 68 to 74 agree the time is right. And as it's the Stones, it had to be named Exhibitionism. It's a colossal interactive reflection of their 54 years in the music business. Mick Jagger.
It is a kind of look at your career, and I think it's kind of an interesting time to do it. We've got enough stuff, in fact, too much stuff.
Keith Richards agrees with Mick.
Instruments and stuff, the things that have passed through your hands in that time.
At the Saatchi Gallery till September. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Charles Grassley, an Iowa Republican, has agreed to meet with President Obama's Supreme Court nominee Merrick Garland at his Capitol Hill office. But aides say it's only a gentlemanly gesture, and Grassley will use the meeting to explain to Garland why the committee won't be taking up his nomination. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
From the iFIBER ONE News Radio studios, I'm Marilyn Foster. The city of Shelton is working on a comprehensive plan this year. It's a roadmap of sorts that helps guide the city's future growth while protecting our natural resources and refining our community character. Steve Goins came on Daybreak for the Focus on Shelton segment and talked about a meeting that's coming up tomorrow.
We are proposing a couple areas that we want to expand into the urban growth area, pretty large areas. One would be an employment center located basically west of the State Patrol Academy. There's a stretch of road there, the route toward the Correction Center. So that area, as well as an area south of the Shelton Hills proposed development, there's some land there that the owner would like to bring into the UGA. So we're adding those to the environmental review of our comprehensive plan update. We have a meeting scheduled on April 6th at the Civic Center, 5:30 to 7:30. That will basically review what we're proposing, and it's a chance for the public to comment on, hey, what kind of environmental issues should we be looking at as we analyze this?
That meeting tomorrow is open to the public. Learn more about the 2016 Comprehensive Plan and how to get involved on the City of Shelton's website, ci.shelton.wa.us. The Mason PUD3 Commission is opposing a carbon tax initiative, citing increased taxes on electricity customers, unclear impacts on the Washington state budget, and concerns over measuring emissions from power generation prompted the PUD3 Board of Commissioners to adopt a resolution last week opposing the Carbon Tax Initiative 732. Linda Gott, Commission President, says that while the intent of the initiative is admirable, Mason PUD3's electricity is already 97% carbon-free. Based on studies from the Washington PUD Association, the tax on the 3% of PUD's electricity that comes from natural gas and coal could increase costs to customers between $567,000 and nearly $1.9 million in the first year alone. Supporters of the initiative say it provides cleaner energy solutions by taxing carbon while offsetting increased costs with tax breaks. A developer wants to donate a historic brew house. Tumwater's mayor is expected to sign an agreement at a council meeting today that donates the 111-year-old brick structure while calling for the city to design and build public access. The agreement with Falls Development LLC asks that the historic building be remodeled and preserved. The city is working toward creating a craft brewing and distilling hub that provides jobs and contributes to the local economy. For iFIBER ONE News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3, I'm Marilyn Foster.
Join Alex Jones weeknights from 6 to 10 on iFIBER ONE News Radio.
Whenever folks say, it's the Catholic Church or it's the Jews or it's the Masons that run everything, you know what it is? It's criminal gangs that use gang psychology. Russia's basically run by former KGB that set up a gang and made themselves oligarchs. I don't want government by gang. I want government by the republic, by freedom, by due process, where the people are organized to defend basic freedoms so that no gang can get together and overthrow that.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things: dew, juice, and caffeine, rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption. Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart. Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that. Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 4 energizing new flavors like Midnight Grape. It all starts with a kick.
Now from the all-new Gillis Auto Center Sports Desk, here's Sean Wells.
Connor Weber had 3 hits with 3 RBIs as North Mason baseball knocked off Kingston 12-2. The Bulldogs combined for 11 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning on their way to their 2nd victory in as many games. North Mason totaled 14 hits in the contest. Shelton baseball dropped a tough one on the road at Central Kitsap 9-3. The High Climbers have a shot at redemption when they host the Cougars this afternoon. Shelton fast pitch dropped their first conference game this season, losing a tough one at Central Kitsap 10-0. The High Climbers are back in action this Wednesday, hosting Lincoln. The Seattle Mariners open up the 2016 season on the road facing the Texas Rangers. Things started out well for the Mariners as Robinson Cano blasted one over the right field fence, giving the M's a 1-0 lead. Kyle Seager then went yard in the second inning to double the lead for Seattle. But the Rangers would go on to score 3 runs in the 5th inning behind 2 Seattle errors to take the lead. Texas would hold on for the 3-2 victory over Seattle. King Felix was inconsistent on the mound for the Mariners, only giving up 1 hit but walking 5 batters in 6 innings pitched. After the game, Seattle manager Scott Service gave credit to the Rangers and opening day starter Cole Hamels.
I give credit to them. They worked away and found that way to score a few runs. And, we just, Hamels was good today. We got a couple of balls hit hard, that we got out of the ballpark. But other than that, it was just tough to mount against them.
Make sure to tune into iFIBER ONE News Radio this evening as the Mariners take on Texas in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Pre-game starts at 4 p.m., opening pitch set for 5:05. For iFIBER ONE News Radio, I'm Sean Wells.
Good morning. It's 6:10. I'm Carol Gardner, and here's the weather. We'll have scattered showers this morning, drying out by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies with temps around 60. Tomorrow, we're going to have clouds early before a mostly sunny and warmer afternoon. And get this, records might be broken on Thursday, possibly pushing 80.
What? Wait. What?
I'm just saying. Remember, we're going to
saying it. I don't know.
We're going to remain Sunday on Friday for the home opener. And right now it's 43.
Wow.
Now from the iFIBER ONE News Radio studios, it's Daybreak. Providing local news, sports, weather, and interviews to the South Sound's most important people. You. From business leaders to politicians, from activists for change to advocates for the poor, your neighbors and newsmakers are here on Daybreak.
Yeah, good morning to you. 6:11 on iFIBER ONE News Radio. Jeff Slakey, Carol Gardner on a, what did you say, 80 maybe on Thursday?
Well, it depends where you're looking.
If you're just going to say it, then just say it.
All right. Okay. They say we could break records, and it could be 80.
I like it.
Yeah, clear and just get outside.
That's not even an April Fool's Day.
No, it is not even April Fool's Day. And if you need to go outside, you're just going to have showers this morning. Well, maybe you need a shower this morning. I don't know. But if you want to work in the yard without a shower, it's going to clear up around 10-ish or so. It's less rain.
Okay. Well, good morning to you. It is 6:12 here at iFIBER ONE News Radio. Today on the big show, Joe Sanchez from the Mason County Health Department will be in 8:15. And at 8:45, Carissa Benjamin, Lacey South Sound Chamber event coordinator, coming in to talk about things that are happening with the Lacey South Sound Chamber of Commerce, and lots of stuff doing out there in Lacey, to be sure. 6:13 here at iFIBER ONE News Radio. Big top story on the front page of the website this morning talks about this weekend's Fiddle Fest. Jeff Chu puts together a great story for you that we'll play here just after some of the other news around the Northwest, which we'll get to right after this NFL Now segment. Twitter, the home for Thursday night football.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER ONE News Radio.
I'm Ari Wolf with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Colin Kaepernick saga continues in San Francisco. The quarterback met with Broncos GM John Elway last Thursday. The same day, his $11.9 million base salary with the Niners became guaranteed. Kaepernick then flew back to the Bay Area to participate in the Niners offseason workout program Monday. Meanwhile, across the Bay, the Raiders have agreed to a 2-year deal with linebacker Aldon Smith. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, the linebacker is currently serving a year-long suspension for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. He's not eligible to play again until November. Make sure you watch the NFL Draft presented by Verizon on April 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network. You'll get instant reaction, analysis, and interviews with the draft picks. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
This season, only T-Mobile customers get a free MLB TV premium subscription. Sign up by April 10th to catch any out-of-market game all season long. That's over 7,000 hours of baseball that will never touch your data plan, thanks to Binge On, only from T-Mobile. Sign up by April 10th at T-Mobile.com/MLB.
Sign up for MLB TV while on our network. New MLB TV premium subscribers only. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB TV for details. Binge On available to T-Mobile customers with qualifying plan. Detectable video typically streams at DVD quality. Video from participating services doesn't count against full speed data on our U.S. network. Third-party subscription charges may apply.
Gary, why aren't you outside enjoying the party?
Hey, Michelle. It's this heartburn. When it hits, it really hits hard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's it. I've had it. I'm going to kick acid with Rolaids. Rolaids Advanced goes to work instantly for powerful relief of your worst heartburn, bloating, and gas.
Wow, you're packed fast.
Yeah, I feel much better. Now this is a party. Kick acid and gas with Rolaids Advanced.
iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
6:15 at iFIBER One News Radio. Jeff and Carol, good morning.
Good morning.
One addition to that NFL note. Tweet. Try to get this out in 140 characters. Twitter won the bidding for the... Now, you're going to have to help me with this. Twitter won the bidding for the digital streaming rights to the NFL's Thursday night games. Roger Goodell announced this morning on Twitter, which he's not a frequent Twitterer.
No, I was looking at his Twitter site, and his last post was 2014 when he was in Seattle.
For the Super Bowl? Or
November, yeah. Or no, was it November? Well, anyways, it was like 2 years ago. And now just like 30, probably now or an hour now, he just plopped onto Twitter that NFL streaming on Twitter.
Well, apparently
Thursday night only.
Thursday night only. The league apparently offered this package to companies like Facebook, Amazon, Verizon, which is in the last year of a sponsorship deal that pays the NFL $250 million a year. So if you've got a cell phone and you're a Verizon person, you can watch the games on your phone.
Which I have done plenty of times.
Oh, I've done plenty of times too. And Verizon pays NFL $250 million a year to do to Boy, I hope they continue that.
It's amazing how clear the game. It's just like
right there.
It's actually pretty awesome, even though it's so small.
Well, that's what I don't understand about this. Twitter will be the third destination for a fan to see a Thursday night game. If you remember, it's been on CBS, it's been on the NFL Network, it's been on NBC. So do you go to twitter.com/NFL? You got to watch it from your mobile or from a computer screen?
I bet you could watch it from either. You can watch it from your phone or from your computer screen, because it will show up as a big, if you ever have seen a video on Twitter, it's just like, the picture, and you can enlarge it to your whole screen, and you're watching the game on your screen.
All of those games will also be on the NFL Network as well, if you have that cable package. So one more spot, trying to get the Twitter in there. They are Twitter is a big sports thing. I mean, you can get on Twitter and people are tweeting about sports events live happening and stuff like that. I
follow lots of things on Twitter.
Deal would allow fans to experience both the game and their Twitter feed without the use of a second screen. 6:18 here at iFIBER One News Radio, and a good morning to you. It is Daybreak at iFIBER One Newsradio.com. This morning we are seeing some stories that we talked about yesterday, and also in the local news tab right at the top of the page. Jeff Chu talks about Fiddlefest 2016, and that'll come, we'll play that for you just after this next break in a little bit. But we're looking at some AP stories from around the Northwest. The governor has appointed a new head of the State Office of Aerospace to lead efforts to develop the aerospace industry sector. Starting today, John Thornquist will serve as the main contact for North American and international aerospace companies looking to expand their presence in Washington. 28 years of experience in business and engineering, working most recently as CEO of Everett-based Carbon Aerospace.
A panel of ocean scientists say global carbon dioxide emissions are rapidly altering ocean chemistry along the West Coast, and urgent action is needed to combat this troubling changes. The group warned in a report yesterday that failing to respond to ocean acidification will have devastating ecological consequences for the West Coast. We already did hear about some of that. They've been having some conferences in Seattle about ocean acidification and the shellfish industry. California, Oregon, Washington, and the province of British Columbia brought together 20 scientists, that's what I was just talking about, to come up with management tools to address ocean acidification and waters with extremely low oxygen levels. And Governor Jay Inslee says he's ready to work with these counterparts on the West Coast to lead the issue.
The federal government has finalized a West Coast ban on new commercial fishing for forage fish. Now, forage fish are those small fish that the bigger fish eat, where then bigger fish, or we eat those fish. So it all kind of goes back down. Seabirds, marine mammals also depend on these for food. NOAA Fisheries says the move is needed to proactively protect the little fish that play such a critical role in the marine food web. It kind of reminds me of when we were talking about mosquitoes a couple months ago, maybe. And I said, well, what's even the point?
Well,
and it all trickles back down to the very bottom.
It's all a circle of life.
Circle of life, as Elton John would say. 6:21 at iFIBER One News Radio. Take a quick break. Hear about Fiddle Fest. That was this past weekend, getting us ready for a lot more great fiddle, bluegrass music into the spring and summer. It's all coming up here on Daybreak.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
The ocean waves roll in, hypnotic, continuous, and perched high above rests the oldest family-owned resort on Washington's coast, Ocean Crest Resort. Picturesque, friendly, comfortable. Ocean Crest has served as the perfect ocean hideaway for over 60 years. With unsurpassed ocean views, warm fireplaces, full kitchens, swimming pool, hot tub, and spa. Ocean Crest Resort offers you total and unrivaled relaxation. Frommer's Guide reports you simply won't find a more spectacular setting anywhere on the Washington coast. And Ocean Crest's enchanting restaurant is listed as one of Washington's 13 ultimate restaurants you must visit before you die. See for yourself with our special 3-for-2 package. For a limited time, stay 2 nights and get a 3rd night free. Call 800-684-8439, 800-684-8439, or visit oceancrestresort.com. Ocean Crest Resort, making memories since 1953. In Mo Clips, overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
You know, this is a good time to subscribe to the Journal. Most importantly, you get a great local newspaper. We were voted the best mid-sized weekly newspaper in the state, which helps you stay connected to your community. And then there is the fact that subscription rates remain low while individual paper prices are increasing for 2016. You can save as much as $40 this year with your subscription. Quality, convenience, and low price. The Journal gives you all that every week. Call 426-4412 or go to masoncounty.com.
To celebrate the return of spring and the appearance of the Traveler on the face of Mount Washington, join Hood Canal Events for the first ever Traveler 5K Run and Walk Saturday, April 23rd. Live music, food, local vendors from Hood Canal, and a beer and wine garden. Dress up and enjoy the beginning of spring and a new tradition on Hood Canal. The Traveler 5K Run and Walk Saturday, April 23rd at The Point across from Alderbrook Golf Club. Register at hoodcanalevents.com.
iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
All right, good morning to you. Daybreak 6:23. Update for you. I'm Jeff Slakey along with Carol Gardner. Update for you on the man who shot at pursuing Mason deputies. He has been caught last night, according to the Mason County Sheriff's Twitter account. You can follow that on Twitter, and our website as well will get you the links. But it is reported that he was now in custody And the Mason County Sheriff's Office wants to thank everybody who helped with the apprehension. 6:24 here at iFIBER ONE News Radio, and a good morning to you. It is Daybreak here.
It was a celebration of fiddling, guitar, banjo, and mandolin picking, and a whole lot of singing. Hundreds turned out for the 32nd annual Fiddle Fest on Saturday at Shelton High School's Performing Arts Center. 2 shows were produced by Washington Old Time Fiddlers Association and Shelton High School choirs. Old Time Fiddlers raises money for Washington students who attend an annual music workshop in Moses Lake. Saturday's Fiddle Fest featured a number of little ones who rosined up their bows to perform. The festival drew a few old-timers to the stage. Phil and Vivian Williams opened the show with some down-home picking and fiddling. Vivian is a champion fiddler with some 60 years of experience. She is a major researcher and performer of historic and pioneer fiddling in the Northwest.
We're here to demonstrate and promote and otherwise benefit the idea of old-time fiddle music, which is some of the best stuff that ever came down the pike.
Phil Williams talked about their longtime involvement in the festival.
We actually were founding members of the Washington Old Time Fiddle Association in '65. I did the Articles of Incorporation and all that. And we've been participating in the Northwest fiddling scene for all these years. I think Vivian's probably the best known fiddler in the Northwest.
Shelton High School Choir, directed by music teacher Paul Nakla, put on an energetic performance. Natalie Petrie, Shelton High School Choir president with the choir for 3 years, performed at the Fiddle Fest, a highlight in the show. The choir sang concert and fiddle tunes at the festival, and Natalie shared what it means to be part of the event.
So it's like kind of like the community and the choir coming together. It's just like a whole different experience. Like younger kids like aren't really involved with like the fiddle tunes, and it's just really cool to see like how involved people get and like to be involved in like this type of music.
A newcomer to the Shelton Choir, never appeared at the Fiddle Fest before, but he had an idea of what to expect.
I heard it's really lively, uplifting, and it's really just fun.
Choir member Lexi Nakla actually played fiddle during the performance.
It's just fun to sing together with a whole bunch of musicians.
Ida Clare from Vashon Island had the crowd spellbound with their harmonies. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER ONE News.
Again, that's our reporter Jeff Chu, who was out at Fiddle Fest. We had Will and Laura Farr on the show last week, and good stuff from fiddle music. Love to hear the fiddle music, and we were just talking as well about some of the other big events that show up throughout the rest of the spring and summer around these parts, like Bluegrass from the Forest, and always a good time to be sure. 6:27 at iFIBER ONE News Radio. Marilyn Foster has the latest in local news. ABC Sports, Sean Wells has our sports report as well. After opening day yesterday, Mariners fall 3-2, but they're back at it again against the Rangers with a 4 o'clock pregame today. 5:05 first pitch. Tomorrow it'll be at 11 first pitch. Then Friday night, opening night for your 2016 Seattle Mariners. When I got home yesterday, I had the opportunity to turn them on. They were on ESPN for the opening day celebrations. Felix has a big old, it's not a goatee because it seems like it's just his chin hair that goes really long, and it's blonde.
Well, did you see him without his hat on?
No.
He's totally blonde. He always does something new and different for the year.
I saw one of the commercials where he's holding a bunch of coffee cups and folding laundry, and I noticed that he had a long tuft of hair on his chin, but on the field it was blonde. I missed the hat off.
Well, yeah, because he probably doesn't take it off really during the game.
just to.
Yeah, he's got some. He's funny. I mean, he's keeping it fresh, man.
Sure.
Every year you got to do something a little different.
It was fun to hear the pregame on iFIBER One News Radio. Again, your only home here in the South Sound for Mariners baseball all season long.
The only home.
So when your friends are asking, when those Mariners? Well, they're on the radio. Anyways, hearing them learn about the new system, Scott Service's new system.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they all kind of just got on board. They said they were ready for it. And some big hits, got some big home runs and big hits. Unfortunately, little errors in the fifth inning caused the first loss of the year. But here's what I was thinking yesterday. Go with me on this.
All right.
Mariners had the record, 9 wins in a row, opening day wins. What have they done the rest of the season? Thumbs down, right?
The rest of the season, there's been
it's not been winning baseball.
Right.
At the end of the season, they're not in the playoffs. They win the first game of the last 9 years, we're not seeing anything. So I'm wondering, with a first game loss.
But we usually do better in the second half for some reason.
Well, I know, I understand that, but I'm just saying for the last 9 years they've won opening day, but not made it to the playoffs. Now they lose opening day, maybe something's different.
Maybe that's what they had to do. They had to take one for the long-term focus.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
From the iFIBER One News Radio studios, I'm Marilyn Foster. The city of Shelton is working on a comprehensive plan this year. It's a roadmap of sorts that helps guide the city's future growth while protecting our natural resources and refining our community character. Steve Goins came on Daybreak for the Focus on Shelton segment and talked about a meeting that's coming up tomorrow.
We are proposing a couple areas that we want to expand into the urban growth area, pretty large areas. One would be an employment center located basically west of the State Patrol Academy. There's a stretch of road there, the route toward the Correction Center. So that area, as well as an area south of the Shelton Hills proposed development, there's some land there that the owner would like to bring into the UGA. So we're adding those to the environmental review of our comprehensive plan update. We have a meeting scheduled on April 6th at the Civic Center, 5:30 to 7:30. That will basically review what we're proposing, and it's a chance for the public to comment on, hey, what kind of environmental issues should we be looking at as we analyze this?
That meeting tomorrow is open to the public. Learn more about the 2016 Comprehensive Plan and how to get involved on the City of Shelton's website, ci.shelton.wa.us. The Mason PUD3 Commission is opposing a carbon tax initiative, citing increased taxes on electricity customers, unclear impacts on the Washington state budget, and concerns over measuring emissions from power generation prompted the PUD3 Board of Commissioners to adopt a resolution last week opposing the Carbon Tax Initiative 732. Linda Gott, Commission President, says that while the intent of the initiative is admirable, Mason PUD3's electricity is already 97% carbon-free. Based on studies from the Washington PUD Association, the tax on the 3% of PUD's electricity that comes from natural gas and coal could increase costs to customers between $567,000 and nearly $1.9 million in the first year alone. Supporters of the initiative say it provides cleaner energy solutions by taxing carbon while offsetting increased costs with tax breaks. A developer wants to donate a historic brew house. Tumwater's mayor is expected to sign an agreement at a council meeting today that donates the 111-year-old brick structure while calling for the city to design and build public access. The agreement with Falls Development LLC asks that the historic building be remodeled and preserved. The city is working toward creating a craft brewing and distilling hub that provides jobs and contributes to the local economy. For iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3, I'm Marilyn Foster.
At Mason PUD3, we know that time changes all things.
like phone numbers, mailing addresses, and email addresses, even names. PUD3 needs your correct account information for emergency contacts and online security. To make this fun, all PUD3 customers who update or confirm their account information by April 27th will have their names placed into a drawing for a free iPad mini. Go to masonpud3.org/account to learn more.
Thriller in Houston as the Cats stun North Carolina at the buzzer. Hi, everybody. Dave Packer reporting on sports.
Ryan Arcidiacono flips to Jenkins. 3 for the win. It's good. It's good.
As heard on the Westwood One NCAA radio network, Villanova head coach Jay Wright.
That was just great college basketball. Two great teams. In a national championship game to hit a shot at the buzzer, I mean, I haven't seen many better than that.
The official opening day in baseball, and we already have a walk-off.
There goes the runner. There's a shot up the middle. That's a base hit. It's over. In an opening day, the Orioles get off to the best start possible in the win column on opening day.
On WJZ, O's trump the Twins 3-2. UConn women's basketball trying for its 4th consecutive title tonight against Syracuse. This is ABC Sports. The Nationals got a new second baseman in the offseason, and Daniel Murphy comes up big on day one.
Will it stay fair? It will. It's fair and headed down into foul ground. Zimmerman will score. Daniel Murphy's into second with a double.
As heard on WJFK, Nats beat the Braves 4-3 in 10 innings. Life's not fair. Just ask Seattle's Felix Hernandez. He gives up just 1 hit, but the Mariners' defense lets him down. They wind up losing 3-2 to the Rangers. Dodgers' Clayton Kershaw and Cubs' Jake Arrieta both throw gems as L.A. and Chicago cruise to victories. Last year's American League MVP picks up where he left off.
Rays outfield shifts. Play Donaldson to pull, and this ball's drilled to left field. Jennings looks up, and it's way gone.
On CJCL, Blue Jays sink the Rays 5-3. Rockies double the D-backs 10-5. San Francisco spanks Milwaukee 12-3. White Sox hold on to beat Oakland 4-3. Cincinnati 6-2. Winners over Philly. Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
It's a new look to the Seattle Mariners. From the GM down, things have changed. One thing that hasn't changed is that we at iFIBER ONE Newsradio are still your only South Sound home for the Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners are brought to you in part by Whitney's Chevrolet, Ascend Roofing, L&D Bottling, Claris Eye Center, BUD number 3, and Olympia Furniture Company.
Now from the all-new Gillis Auto Center Sports Desk, here's Sean Wells.
Connor Weber had 3 hits with 3 RBIs as North Mason baseball knocked off Kingston 12-2. The Bulldogs combined for 11 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning on their way to their 2nd victory in as many games. North Mason totaled 14 hits in the contest. Shelton baseball dropped a tough one on the road at Central Kitsap 9-3. The High Climbers have a shot at redemption when they host the Cougars this afternoon. Shelton fast pitch dropped their first conference game this season, losing a tough one at Central Kitsap 10-0. The High Climbers are back in action this Wednesday, hosting Lincoln. The Seattle Mariners opened up the 2016 season on the road facing the Texas Rangers. Things started out well for the Mariners as Robinson Cano blasted one over the right field fence, giving the M's a 1-0 lead. Kyle Sear then went yard in the 2nd inning to double the lead for Seattle. But the Rangers would go on to score 3 runs in the 5th inning behind 2 Seattle errors to take the lead. Texas would hold on for the 3-2 victory over Seattle. King Felix was inconsistent on the mound for the Mariners, only giving up 1 hit but walking 5 batters in 6 innings pitched. After the game, Seattle manager Scott Service gave credit to the Rangers and opening day starter Cole Hamels.
I give credit to them. They worked away and found that way to score a few runs. And, we just, Hamels was good today. We got a couple of balls hit hard, that we got out of the ballpark. But other than that, it was just tough to mount against them.
Make sure to tune into iFIBER ONE Newsradio this evening as the Mariners take on Texas in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Pre-game starts at 4 p.m., opening pitch set for 5:05. For iFIBER ONE Newsradio, I'm Sean Wells.
Good morning. It's 6:38, and I'm Carol Gardner, and here's the weather. Scattered showers this morning, drying out by the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies with temps around 60. Tomorrow, clouds early before a mostly sunny and warmer afternoon. And records might be broken on Thursday.
Oh, yeah? I mean, I have a bunch of records I don't listen to anymore. Is that what you're... like that kind of record? Or?
No. Sunshine, warm weather, possibly pushing 80.
Wow.
Yep. And it's going to remain Sunday, Friday for the home opener. And right now it's 43.
Now, from the iFIBER One News Radio studios, it's Daybreak. Providing local news, sports, weather, and interviews to the South Sound's most important people. You. From business leaders to politicians, from activists for change to advocates for the poor. Your neighbors and newsmakers are here on Daybreak.
.639 iFIBER One News Radio. Good morning to you. We'll live the country life in a couple of moments, and then throughout the day today, we've got some great guests, including Joe Sanchez from the Mason County Public Health. It is Public Health Week, and we're going to be talking with Joe about all sorts of good stuff on that at 8:15. At 8:45 today, excuse me, we're going to be talking about some things that are happening in the great city of Lacey, spring and into the summer. Also more AP stories to pass along, including studying for the state on wildfire prevention. Is that close to that?
Well, Washington officials are conducting a pilot program to weigh the benefits of prescribed burns in preventing wildfires. The State Department of Natural Resources program is part of the legislation signed last week by Governor Inslee, includes stronger language directing the state to approve permits for these burns. And this comes after last year's huge wildfire season.
Oh, yeah.
Prescribed burns are intentional fires meant to reduce fuel for wildfires. Forest Service officials want to increase the scale of these burns in Washington. So DNR has to submit a report about these burns to the legislature before December 2018. They're taking 2 years to do this, it looks like. And it loosens permitting requirements and appears the fires are unlikely to significantly detract from air quality. So that's sort of interesting. The Native Americans used to burn fields and such back in...
Sure.
I mean, I've read some history books on that. So it's sort of a process.
Yeah.
And some plants only grow after their seeds sprout. One of the trees, I'm like fishing here, I can't remember, I've read it somewhere. One of the trees' seeds have to be cracked. Is it?
Oh, heated and cracked?
Yeah, is it the sequoia? It's one of those trees, yeah.
It's a good word, sequoia. There's been a couple, it's been a tough fire season last year and the year before that. And so there had been a couple of fires along 101 between Shelton and Olympia, most notably for me at least, right at the Mud Bay exit. And it's been really fascinating to watch the progress of the regrowth. You always remember those trips that you would take to Mount St. Helens after the explosion in 80. And you head up to what is that, Johnson Point or something like that. And you go up to Mount St. Helens and you're looking at how beautiful it was. And then you see, I remember as a kid going up there and just, devastated. And then slowly things started growing again. And it's really fascinating, as Jeff Goldblum would say, as Ian Malcolm would say, life finds a way.
Yeah, it is. It's really interesting to watch that. And also, like, if you ever hiked around out in the forest and after the landslides have gone through or mudslide gone through, and then you see the regrowth happening, it's very interesting stuff.
Is that a sequoia? Is that what you're...
Yeah, fire helps giant sequoias in many ways. So they have those cones that are really, really hard to get in, and they need fire or insects to crack open the cones.
Oh, man, I remember those. My old grandma's house in Twain Harte, California had those big sequoia trees all over the place. 6:43, live the country life on iFIBER One News Radio.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-928-7113. That's 1-800-928-7113. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends, family, and coworkers talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-928-7113. That's 1-800-928-7113.
The gentle cooing of the mourning dove is a very familiar bird sound. Hi, I'm Jody Henke. From southern Canada to central Mexico, this dove is one of our most common birds as you're living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
Are you sitting on a working prototype of agriculture's next big idea, but uncertain how to proceed? Enter your invention in the Innovation Showcase Contest at agriculture.com/innovation. 2 contest winners will have the opportunity to be featured in Successful Farming magazine. Each will receive a 1-day consultation with Thunder Creek Equipment, and their inventions will be showcased at a national agricultural trade show. The winners will also be awarded a $3,000 check. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and DC, 21 years and older who are active farmers or an active farmer spouse or farm family member. Begins March 1st, 2016. Ends 11:59 p.m. June 13th, 2016. Subject to official rules at agriculture.com/innovation rules. Void or prohibited. Sponsor, Mayor of Corporation. Take your invention to the next level and enter today in the Innovation Showcase Contest at agriculture.com/innovation.
I love a quiet summer day when I hear the mourning doves cooing to each other from tree to tree. Every year, I see a few doves lazing on the rail of my deck close to the bird feeders. They get their name because of the soft, drawn-out call that sounds like a lament. When they fly away, their large wings make a whistle or whir kind of sound as the air rushes through their feathers. Greg Yarrow is the chair of the Department of Forestry and Environmental Conservation at Clemson University. He says there's a good reason why mourning doves like to hang near bird feeders. About 90% of their diet is seeds.
They like a variety of different seeds that are high in oil content and some that are high in protein. They like a lot of grass seeds or seeds from small broadleaf plants, and a lot of these seeds that are available on the ground, that fall on the ground where they can find them.
Mourning doves prefer open land with a scattering of trees and shrubs for cover and nesting. Yarrow says they build their nests about 15 feet off the ground. Unfortunately, they don't have much pride in home ownership because nest construction is incredibly sloppy.
The male and female begin to build the nest sometime in February, and it looks like just a pile of sticks thrown together. The female lays her eggs. She'll lay 2 eggs, and a lot of times in areas where there's wind, those eggs get knocked down, so they'll have to many times re-nest and lay the eggs. But they can do that up to 4 or 5 times. So, they're fairly prolific.
Yarrow says mourning doves are one of the most widespread and adaptable North American birds. They have a high rate of reproduction, but also a high rate of mortality. He says the birds live on average about 1.5 years. Learn more about mourning doves at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online.
iFIBER ONE News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
6:47 on a Tuesday morning. Good Tuesday to you. Jeff and Carol on Daybreak, iFIBER ONE News Radio. Mariners lose opening game yesterday against Texas.
But you have a theory.
But I do have a theory. So they've won the last 9 opening days. And when we look to the postseason record, Bupkis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before we get all down, let's think about it that way. All the wins on opening day in the last 9 years, not much in the playoff picture. So with a loss, baseball's all about, as soon as the game is done, the amount of stat crunching that is used is amazing. They got iPads now in the dugouts, all sorts of technology going on. So,
You think they're all wearing earpieces?
No, you can't wear earpieces.
How do you know?
I don't. But I would hope that they do not. 648 at iFIBER ONE News Radio. The Washington Department of Health plans to study the impact wastewater has on shellfish in Grays Harbor. Health officials plan to add red dye to treated wastewater from April 9 through the 13th. And it will allow scientists to monitor the movement and pinpoint where it comes into contact with shellfish in the harbor. Officials say the dye will be visible in the waters next Sunday and Monday, and it's not harmful to people, marine life, or the environment.
That's always the disclaimer.
You got it, because otherwise you start looking at the water and it's either red. So in this case, it'll be red. But I've seen neon green dye that they've used on a show that I've watched called Christopher Oak Island. They pour a bunch of water into a hole and say, well, where's this water going? They try to figure it out by looking for the dye. So you'll see some red dye if you're going to be in Grays Harbor the 9th through the 13th. But fear not.
Yeah.
It's all for a good cause.
Some other environmental story where I guess they didn't think that this was going to cause a problem, but now years later it does. The U.S. Forest Service is cleaning up soil contaminated by lead at a former shooting range. The cleanup is focused on 2 acres of the Index Sportsman Club shooting range in the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. Shotgun pellets from the trap shooting contaminated the soil in 2 acres. Other areas of the range are not contaminated. And project coordinator Joseph Gibbons says the cleanup crew will simply dig up the contaminated soil, haul it to a disposal area in Seattle or Wenatchee. And he says it's going to cost about almost $800,000. And it's going to start as soon as this fall and expected to take less than a month.
Wow. Interesting. Senate investigators, and we're talking federal Senate investigators, indicated that they've received few answers about the theft of computer equipment, which probably contained millions of names of Social Security numbers from a federal child support office in Washington State. We brought you this story last week here on iFIBER ONE News Radio. Letter obtained by the AP shows that Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin asking Health and Human Services Department if the hard drives were ever recovered and if potential victims were notified about the February thefts. If you remember, there was a burglary that happened and a bunch of stuff was stolen, including a couple hard drives. Everything was recovered, but those couple of hard drives, and nobody knows where they went.
Right.
The breach would mark the latest case of personal information swipe from the federal government. The head of the Office of Personnel Management resigned last year after another breach of private data.
It's always the person, really, the people, not really the programming that took the data. We blame it on the programming.
But it
comes back to the people.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER ONE News Radio.
Looking for productive use for a bumper crop of dandelions? A brief course in dandelion cuisine today from the Old Farmer's Almanac. With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report for Tuesday, April 5th, the 96th day of the year. Screen legends Betty Davis, Gregory Peck, and Spencer Tracy were all born on this day. Dandelions pack a powerful nutritional punch, and if you know what you're doing, they can be quite delicious. Here's some advice from dandelion devotees. First, avoid the dandelions in your lawn. The best edible dandelions are from untended fields. Pick the greens early in the season, just after the bloom bud appears. Many people enjoy them raw, tossed in a salad, but you can also prepare them cooked. Just boil for 5 minutes, then season with butter and salt. A few words of caution: wash thoroughly before eating and never use dandelions treated with herbicides. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report. Find more lawn and garden tips at almanac.com.
iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
.653 iFIBER One News Radio, CNBC Business Radio report coming up. Free man today. Kaiser's going to go see Nana and Papa, who've been out for the couple weeks on holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get in the yard. I got some big yard projects that I need to work on, and I'm hopeful after hearing your forecast, which again calls for what today?
Well, it's going to be sort of maybe rain showers in the morning, but it will clear up right around mid-morning, around 10-ish.
That's perfect. So some of the things I am anticipating some pretty big projects. I got to move some rocks, lift up some dirt.
You don't even have that much yard. I'm just trying to visualize this.
Well, in my mind, it looks like it's a lot that I'm dealing with a lot here.
Huge rocks. I got to get a tractor for.
So, well, not that hard, not that big. But one of the things that I'm always conscious of and aware of is that you always see those little signs, and there's like a little, I don't know, gopher or a mole or whatever, and he's got a hard hat on, and he's there with a shovel, and it always says call before you dig.
Right.
And I never really know, does that relate? Is that for me? Is that for business people who have large excavators?
Well, lucky for you,
yeah,
Mr. Slakey, Governor Jay Inslee has issued a proclamation announcing April as Washington's Safe Digging Month.
Ah, well, wonderful.
In this proclamation, it says to call or remind 811 before you dig to prevent injury, property damage, and inconvenient outages. So by calling 811 at least 2 business days before you start any digging project, you can obtain an underground utility locate and know what may lie below your property or your yard.
Huh.
So call before you dig is a great deal. I remember my father did not call before he dug years ago, and we did hit something. I can't remember what it was, but it is inconvenient because then you have to fix what you did.
Sure.
So you think, well, maybe I'm not going to dig that deep, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
But
you just never know.
You just never know, especially because you don't know how it was set up in your neighborhood.
That's true. I came into the neighborhood.
Yes.
In 2015, 3,200 incidents were reported regarding damage to underground utilities in the great state. 40% of those incidents caused by individuals digging without first getting an underground utility locate. Again, call 811.
Yeah, 811.
Potentially dangerous accidents can be prevented. Could be prevented.
So are you going to start today, or are you going to call 811 today, wait 2 days for the deal, and then dig on Thursday, the hottest day?
Yep.
All right. It'll be interesting to see what you. You'll see what they can get, what they'll give you. Yeah. I mean, when I was mowing my lawn last year, I haven't done it this year, of course, yet. I found an underground well that was on my property.
That you didn't know of.
That I didn't know of. So there you go.
Not only screw up your lawnmower, but maybe. Now, is that your well you drink out of?
No, it was a separate.
Wow.
I know. Crazy.
Well, speaking of wells and water and National Public Health Week, Joe Sanchez coming up at 8:15 today. We're going to also talk with Susan Herrick. She's the communicable disease public health nurse for Mason County Public Health. And we'll be talking about Public Health Week, how Mason County is and where we are in improved county rankings, the prescription drug take-back program, immunizations, and we'll try to get over as much as we can with Joe and Susan at 8:15. Then at 8:45, we'll find out what's going on in Lacey for some of the big events that the Lacey South Sound Chamber puts on, and always good times out there in Lacey. I remember last summer during the 4th of July, was out there doing the public address for the fireworks program, and used to work for the city of Lacey at the Parks.
That's right. Did you announce the fireworks, or you just said fireworks are coming up?
I just said, hey, look, turn your head over there, folks.
You didn't go, oh, it's blue, green.
No, I didn't do that.
Sparkly.
No, I didn't do that. I just said, okay, thanks. Turn your heads that way. Well, those are the big interviews today on Daybreak. It's 7 o'clock.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER ONE News Radio.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are lower as oil hovers near one-year lows and on uncertainty about the timing of future interest rate hikes. Comments by presidents of the Chicago and Boston Federal Reserves Monday indicate an aggressive stance on monetary policy. That's contrary to Fed Chair Janet Yellen's cautious tones. The Dow's down 131 points, the Nasdaq lower by 46. Shares of Disney are falling. The entertainment giant says a veteran executive who is widely believed to be its next CEO is leaving. Meantime, there's speculation Bob Iger, Disney's current CEO, may end up extending his term for a third time. Twitter is up following an announcement it has won the rights to broadcast National Football League games online. The social media company has been under pressure to boost its revenue. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
Wipers are like slabs of meat on the grill. Leave either on for too long, and it always ends in disaster. Luckily, Napa now has premium Trek hybrid wiper blades for as low as $14.99 each. Plus, buy a pair and save up to 50% off by mail after rebate. A great deal on Napa Trek hybrid wipers means you can replace your old blades before they turn into a dry, cracked mess. Like last week's barbecue. That's Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 4/30/16.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-495-2035. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-495-2035. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-495-2035.
Alex Jones and InfoWars on from 6 to 9 weekdays on iFIBER ONE News Radio, AM 1030 and FM 103.3 KMAF Shelton.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Donald Trump predicts he'll do really well in today's critical Wisconsin primary.
The people of Wisconsin are amazing. They want to see strong borders. They want their jobs to stay here. They don't want other countries taking all their jobs and manufacturing. And I think we're going to have a great evening.
But Ted Cruz, who leads in the polls, hopes a victory over Trump will raise the odds of a contested convention.
All across Wisconsin, all across this country, people are waking up and help is on the way.
They're waking up to white from Boston to Buffalo after an April snowstorm. Police in New York had their hands full responding to traffic crashes. ABC's Rob Marciano has the view from Boston.
Can you believe it? I mean, Mother Nature obviously not ready for the boys of summer. Snow falling here in Boston, getting about 5 inches, widespread 6 to 9 inches. This street getting some help from the sun, but forget about spring cleaning. Overnight, areas that don't have sun like this had some freezing going on. So icy conditions around the Boston area, especially in the suburbs.
A sightseeing trip in a helicopter ended in tragedy in Tennessee when the chopper crashed and burned near Great Smoky Mountain National Park. All 5 aboard were killed. ABC's Gio Benitez says the crash is raising questions about safety.
These sightseeing helicopters take thousands of tourists over the Great Smoky Mountains, but this chopper crashed at the foot of a mountain. There's nothing left. And it turns out sightseeing helicopter tours have been heavily criticized in this area. After several accidents, residents have actually asked that the tours be stopped.
It's a sea of blue in Hampton, Virginia, where troopers from more than a dozen states are gathering for the funeral of Virginia trooper Chad Dermeyer, who was gunned down inside a Richmond bus terminal during a counterterrorism exercise. Minimum wage workers are getting a raise in New York, too. The Empire State has become the second, after California, to pass a new law raising the rate to $15 an hour. Classes are canceled at Villanova, where they probably wouldn't get much done anyway, since they're celebrating their team's NCAA basketball championship. This is ABC News.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-613-4810.
That's 1-800-613-4810. 1-800-613-4810. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors not available in all states.
Should he stay or should he go? Iceland's prime minister has been named in the Panama Papers as possibly being involved in an offshore cash stash. ABC's Tom Rivers has reaction.
Icelanders don't mess around. Unlike in the U.S., they've thrown many of their fraudulent bankers in jail. Now the people there are out on the streets once again, calling for another head to roll.
I would like the prime minister to resign.
Sigmundur David Gunnlaugsson says he would resign and call snap elections if he loses a no-confidence vote. Some 10,000 demonstrated outside Iceland's parliament on Monday. That's over 10% of the entire population of the capital. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
The White House has declined to act on an online petition submitted to its We the People website, even though it met the threshold of 100,000 signatures, probably because the initiative was calling for the arrest and prosecution of Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump for allegedly inciting violence at rallies. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
From the iFIBER ONE News Radio studios, I'm Marilyn Foster. The city of Shelton is working on a comprehensive plan this year. It's a roadmap of sorts that helps guide the city's future growth while protecting our natural resources and refining our community character. Steve Goins came on Daybreak for the Focus on Shelton segment and talked about a meeting that's coming up tomorrow.
We are proposing a couple areas that we want to expand into the urban growth area, pretty large areas. One would be a employment center located basically west of the State Patrol Academy. There's a stretch of road there, the route toward the Correction Center. So that area, as well as an area south of the Shelton Hills proposed development, there's some land there that the owner would like to bring into the UGA. So we're adding those to the environmental review of our comprehensive plan update. We have a meeting scheduled on April 6th at the Civic Center, 5:30 to 7:30. That will basically review what we're proposing, and it's a chance for the public to comment on, hey, what kind of environmental issues should we be looking at as we analyze this?
That meeting tomorrow is open to the public. Learn more about the 2016 Comprehensive Plan and how to get involved on the City of Shelton's website, ci.shelton.wa.us. The Mason PUD3 Commission is opposing a carbon tax initiative, citing increased taxes on electricity customers, unclear impacts on the Washington state budget, and concerns over measuring emissions from power generation prompted the PUD3 Board of Commissioners to adopt a resolution last week opposing the Carbon Tax Initiative 732. Linda Gott, Commission President, says that while the intent of the initiative is admirable, Mason PUD3's electricity is already 97% carbon-free. Based on studies from the Washington PUD Association, the tax on the 3% of PUD's electricity that comes from natural gas and coal could increase costs to customers between $567,000 and nearly $1.9 million in the first year alone. Supporters of the initiative say it provides cleaner energy solutions by taxing carbon while offsetting increased costs with tax breaks. A developer wants to donate a historic brew house. Tumwater's mayor is expected to sign an agreement at a council meeting today that donates the 111-year-old brick structure while calling for the city to design and build public access. The agreement with Falls Development LLC asks that the historic building be remodeled and preserved. The city is working toward creating a craft brewing and distilling hub that provides jobs and contributes to the local economy. For iFIBER ONE News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Previously on the Under the Hood Show.
This would be Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, go ahead.
I've got an 87 Honda that I just picked up for a song, like $100, and it runs beautifully at 305,000 miles.
Quite impressive.
But when you start it, you have to start it 3 times to get the automatic choke to kick in properly.
So what, Glenn? It was $100.
Go Under the Hood, Saturdays at noon on iFIBER ONE News Radio, AM 1030 and FM 103.3.
Is your family doing some growing?
Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
Now from the all-new Gillis Auto Center Sports Desk, here's Sean Wells.
Connor Weber had 3 hits with 3 RBIs as North Mason baseball knocked off Kingston 12-2. The Bulldogs combined for 11 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning on their way to their 2nd victory in as many games. North Mason totaled 14 hits in the contest. Shelton baseball dropped a tough one on the road at Central Kitsap 9-3. The High Climbers have a shot at redemption when they host the Cougars this afternoon. Shelton fast pitch dropped their first conference game this season, losing a tough one at Central Kitsap 10-0. High Climbers are back in action this Wednesday, hosting Lincoln. The Seattle Mariners open up the 2016 season on the road facing the Texas Rangers. Things started out well for the Mariners as Robinson Cano blasted one over the right field fence, giving the M's a 1-0 lead. Kyle Sear then went yard in the 2nd inning to double the lead for Seattle. But the Rangers would go on to score 3 runs in the 5th inning behind 2 Seattle errors to take the lead. Texas would hold on for the 3-2 victory over Seattle. King Felix was inconsistent on the mound for the Mariners, only giving up 1 hit but walking 5 batters in 6 innings pitched. After the game, Seattle manager Scott Service gave credit to the Rangers and opening day starter Cole Hamels.
I give credit to them. They worked away and found that way to score a few runs. And, we just, Hamels was good today. We got a couple of balls hit hard, that we got out of the ballpark. But other than that, it was tough to mount against them.
Make sure to tune in to iFIBER ONE News Radio this evening as the Mariners take on Texas in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Pre-game starts at 4 p.m., opening pitch set for 5:05. For iFIBER ONE News Radio, I'm Sean Wells.
Good morning. It's 7:11, and I'm Carol, and here's the weather. Scattered showers this morning, drying out by the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies with temps around 60. Tomorrow, clouds early before a mostly sunny and warmer afternoon, and it's going to get a lot warmer on Thursday. Records might be broken. We could be pushing 80.
What?
Yeah, I know.
It's April.
I know, but we get a tease. We always get a little tease, but this could be a big tease. Pushing 80. And it's going to stay sunny for Friday for the home opener with the Mariners. And right now it's 43.
Now, from the iFIBER ONE News Radio studios, it's Daybreak. Providing local news, sports, weather, and interviews to the South Sound's most important people. You. From business leaders to politicians, from activists for change to advocates for the poor, your neighbors and newsmakers are here on Daybreak.
Hi, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here at iFIBER ONE News Radio. Jeff and Carol, and coming up at 8:15, Joe Sanchez from Mason County's Health Department will be in. We'll be talking about things that are happening with the Health Department as well. Susan Herrick will be coming in with Joe. She is the communicable disease public health nurse for the county. Then at 8:45, we'll be talking with Carissa from the Lacey South Sound Chamber of Commerce, and we'll find out about some of the big events that are happening as we move into the spring and summer months. Lots of environmental news coming from the Associated Press that we'll pass along throughout the morning, including ocean chemistry, foraging fish bans, and wildfire prevention studying. In addition to that, the FAA looks like yesterday, Carol, remember we had that story about you brought us about the blood delivery in Rwanda,
yes.
Which is an amazing story where 30 drones will be able to blanket the entire country of Rwanda, which is about the size of New Hampshire and Vermont put together. And this is so they can deliver and maintain a cool temperature blood for people with needs.
Right. And
any kind of medicine.
Yeah. And also other kind of medicines. Yeah. Just flies up, drops its package right at your feet, and flies on back to the hub.
Well, the FAA is close to categorizing and allowing drones in public airspaces here in America. So we'll see if Carol's got some information on that for us right after this break on Daybreak.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
Here comes Obamacare, the biggest change in the tax code in 20 years. I'm ABC's Richard Davies with today's tax tip. This year's tax season marks the first time you'll be asked for information regarding your health insurance. Eric Smith of the IRS says for most people, this will be a non-issue.
For more than 3 out of 4 taxpayers, the change will involve just simply checking a box on your return.
That box indicates that you had health coverage, and most likely through your employer. Others who bought government-backed health care and received a tax credit to help them pay for it will have to account for whether they calculated correctly. Kathy Pickering of H&R Block says there'll either be a payment or a refund.
When they come in to file their taxes, now they're reconciling how they estimated their income to what their actual income is.
The IRS says if you're low income and not required to file a tax return, you don't have to buy health coverage. But for those who could afford it and chose not to, they'll get a fine. With today's tax tip, Richard Davies, ABC News.
If your saving for a retirement strategy involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," we need to talk. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Karen Shade. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side. And there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Stop by my office at 1051 Southeast State Route 3, Shelton.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
If you care about what's going on around here, subscribe to the Shelton Mason County Journal. You will learn something useful about your neighborhood, upcoming events, your community, and coworkers. Laugh at the comics, cry with the obituaries, learn about local concerts, games, and new businesses. Being informed is worth it in so many ways. Subscribe today. Call 360-426-4412 or visit masoncounty.com. Check out the Journal's garage sales, too. Try it. You'll love it.
iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
$7:15 on a Tuesday morning. It's the 5th of April. Mariners are playing once again today. Tough loss yesterday. All kind of happened in the 5th inning with King Felix. 4 o'clock the pregame, 5:05 first pitch again from Arlington, which apparently has some great food this year.
Yeah, what kind?
Well, I heard an ABC report. I'll see if I can find it for us later. But, every year they come out
hamburgers.
Ooh,
that was one of them.
Deep fried
I heard
hamburger.
from somewhere.
Yikes. That sounds like a gut buster, to be sure. Washington governor appointed a new head of the State Office of Aerospace to lead efforts to develop the aerospace industry sector. Starting today, John Thornquist will serve as the main contact for North American and international aerospace companies who are looking to expand their presence in Washington. Thornquist will be based in the Office of Economic Development and Competitiveness. A panel of ocean scientists say global carbon dioxide emissions are rapidly altering oceans' chemistries along the West Coast, and urgent action is needed to combat the troubling changes. We've talked about this often on Daybreak. The group warned in a report yesterday that failing to respond to ocean acidification will have devastating ecological consequences for the West Coast. California, Oregon, and the great state here have got together with the province of British Columbia back in 2013 to bring together 20 scientists to come up with management tools to address ocean acidification and waters with extremely low oxygen levels. In addition to that, the Washington Department of Health plans to study the impact wastewater has on shellfish in Grays Harbor, which is one of the key components there of that getting the oxygenating in the air. We talked with Julian Salmons from the Salmon Center last week about that. Health officials plan to add red dye to treated wastewater from April 9th through the 13th, allowing scientists to monitor the movement and pinpoint where it comes into contact with shellfish in the harbor. Now, the dye that will be visible next Sunday and Monday is not harmful to people, marine life, or the environment. 7:18 here at iFIBER One News Radio, and it's Tuesday. It must be Tech Tuesday.
It is Tech Tuesday. And we talk a lot about drones.
Sure.
And probably in a few years from now, it won't be so breaking news and new drone stuff happens. But
we'll be on to the next thing.
We'll be, whatever the next thing is. So there's a FAA committee that's starting to propose some official categories for drones that fly near crowds.
Okay.
And so a bunch of industry representatives appointed by the FAA turned in some recommendations, and they have like a 4-tiered system for classifying drones and how they may or not interact with crowds. So the first tier is drones that fall under about a half a pound, and they can fly over crowds as long as the manufacturer demonstrates that the chance of injury from collision is insignificant, under 1%. Sorry for that one guy.
So drones, half a pound, is that considered a lot?
Less than half a pound. That's a very super small drone. I mean, isn't your camera drone like super small like that?
Yeah, that's probably ounces.
So it's under half a pound. So it'd be so you could fly it around. There's no height restriction on this one.
I sure would feel sorry for the crowd if I'm flying mine.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess you won't get too injured if you get hit by a half a pound flying object. So they say.
What they say.
This is all just, preliminary.
Okay.
Some other drones, like consumer drones, it's a popular DJI Phantom. It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, the Phantom, DJI Phantom 4 is what they're selling at Apple stores these days, and those things look futuristic.
All right, well, so these have to stay at least 20 feet above people's heads, this type of a drone.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess whoever the tallest person is.
I'm worried about people, like, if you're droning over, let's say it's summertime. We're in downtown Olympia for Lake Fair. Now, they don't have the beer garden anymore. They got rid of that last year, I think. But here's my worry. They just
moved it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Here's my worry. That you're droning around and you're taking some beautiful shots of Lake Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some Yahoo, and I only say this because I would have been that Yahoo, to go, oh, hey, man. Look at that drone. Let's try to hit it.
Yeah, it takes the drone and throws us. Well, I guess if you're the drone driver, you should be paying attention to where you're driving your drone.
They all have cameras. That's true. And you can see the people that are throwing objects,
right,
or like laser beams.
Yeah, well, there's 2 more categories, and I can tell you about those in a little bit.
Got a break right now. When we come back, we'll figure out those other 2 weight classifications and find out now what's eats at the ballpark. All coming up on Daybreak.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
What's taking so long to download that song? What are you using? Dial-up?
No way, dude. I've got cable modem.
What are you, a caveman? You have access to fiber. Why are you paying more for less when you can be using the fastest internet on the planet with iFIBER internet?
Righteous, dude. What's that?
Hurley, you could be surfing the web at least 40 to 200 times faster than cable modem using true light speed with iFIBER Communications fiber internet and still save some major bucks over cable modems. Get off that old analog cable and join this century with iFIBER internet. Hurley?
Yeah?
So what are you doing now?
Dude, I'm calling iFIBER to get hooked up so I can totally surf the web at light speed.
Oh, you're such a caveman.
Ha! Totally.
You can sign up now with iFIBER Communications. You can find us on the web at iFIBER.tv or call us today at 360-427-4000. That's 360-427-4000.
iFIBER Internet. It's totally awesome, dude.
iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
7:22, iFIBER One News Radio. Marilyn Foster's news coming up. Coming up on Monday, your first chance to win tickets to an upcoming Mariners game with Mariners Monday trivia contest. Listen for Sean Wells' sports reports throughout the morning on Monday, and we'll tell you when to call in and win tickets. to an upcoming Mariners game. All right, Carol, so what else is going on with these drones?
All right, so this just seems to be the weight category. So a third category would be for industrial or commercial drones that fly over people who know the risk, such as they're surveying property or film crew working, or 30% maximum risk of serious injury, this one. So wear a helmet, they say.
Okay.
And the last category would be for sustained flights over crowds, serious extended flights for filming concerts, doing news reports, that type of thing. And these would have a higher injury risk, but they would have to have a congested area plan for safely exiting an area of operation should something go wrong.
You brought up a good point. And the break is, so we're at an event and people want a drone at the event, but like 50 people show up.
Yeah, so
drone.
So these are the sort of the weight and size restrictions. So I hope they are taking in consideration the amount, the quantity of. I mean, everybody's going to want a drone.
And they'll all drone at the same location because that's where you're going to see the best stuff.
So you don't see anything, you just see drones when you're filming.
Now the future is now. A new season of baseball brings new eye-popping foods to the ballpark. ABC's Dave Packer on some of these new fare.
Atlanta has the Pizza Burger, consisting of a 20-ounce patty, 5 slices of cheddar cheese, bacon, and a bun made of 2 8-inch pepperoni pizzas. In St. Louis, you can get the meatball cone made from Italian bread. In Arlington, Texas, there's the fried chicken and donut skewers. Down the road, Houston has the sweet potato waffle chicken sandwich. Detroit is offering a deep-fried bratwurst patty pop. And for vegetarians, Toronto has cheese and gravy-covered buffalo cauliflower poutine. Dave Packer, ABC News.
You a fan of poutine? You know what that is? It's like fries with cheese and gravy over it.
No.
It is uniquely Canadian, I must say.
I'm a purist when it comes to my fries.
That's right. We talked about this yesterday. Ketchup. All right. If you're heading up to the safe, though, we've got this year rotisserie-style hot wings, Liege waffles.
Liege is a city in Belgium. So
Okay, so these are like Belgium waffles. From Sweet Iron Waffles. Belgian treats are made from a rich brioche yeasted dough studded with pearls of sugar, topped with powdered sugar.
It looks delicious.
Or dipped in dark or white chocolate. Holy moly, that looks good.
Yeah.
Looks like they've added a bunch of new beers as well, some new wines, and one of the best meats in Washington, in my opinion, Hempler's. They're out of Ferndale. They're going to be all throughout the stadium as well. So you can always go and check out the hamburger and frites. There's Edgar's, Cantina. Always delicious food when you're heading up to the safe. Again, you have a chance to win tickets to an upcoming Mariners game this upcoming Monday during Mariners Monday on iFIBER ONE News Radio. Sean Wells will have a sports report for us, and in that sports report, he'll have a clue for an upcoming trivia game that we'll play. Very easy. We'll give you the phone numbers to call in, and you'll get a chance to win. The other breaking news story this morning, sports-wise, is you'll soon be able to watch the big game, even on the littlest of screens, anywhere you go. And here's ABC's Mark Remillard.
A social media platform known for its minimalism has landed the biggest sport on TV. The NFL announced Tuesday that Twitter will begin live streaming Thursday night football games. A total of 10 games will be available on the platform entirely free and without the need to register, according to a statement from the NFL. That means hundreds of millions of Twitter users can watch the game on PCs and mobile without having a cable subscription. The NFL says the partnership will also include in-game highlights and pre-game Periscope broadcasts for a behind-the-scenes look. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
So that's what's going on there. Very interesting stories as well with this Twitter thing. I don't even know how you watch. So I thought when they did video on Twitter, you had the Periscope thing, and it was so many seconds.
Right, that was the thing. But so this is just, you're going to just be able to stream it. But what I don't understand is how you're going to be able to interact with people while keeping that stream on top.
Sure, it says you won't need a second screen.
Right, so there must be a way when you go to probably this NFL stream, it'll just be like static at the top, and then you can see your feeds down below. So I don't know. I guess we're going to find out on Thursday when football season starts.
Yeah, we got the Seahawks for you here on iFIBER ONE News Radio all season long when the Seahawks get underway, and I think more big NFL events are happening near towards the end of April, the draft coming up. 7:27 now at iFIBER ONE News Radio. On the website, there's a great article that we kind of started talking about a little yesterday, continuing on it with today. It's what passed, died, and was revived from the Washington legislature. We talked about the charter schools and the McCleary plan. Also mentioned that the State Patrol did get their 5% raise. The felony DUI was changed.
Yeah, it was doubled basically from a Class C to a Class B, which carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison and $20,000.
Also, Washington has one of the strictest standards in the nation for convicting police officers who improperly use deadly force, according to the ACLU. House Bill 2908, though, creates a task force to study use of deadly force in the state, existing deadly force laws, and making recommendations for how to reduce violent interactions with law enforcement. Inslee not signed the bill yet, but it was approved by the legislature.
Also with the police, House Bill 2362 sets rules on what police body camera footage is available to the public and requires law enforcement agencies that use these cameras to establish policies on how and when officers use them. Also, it's creating a task force to study how best to use police body cameras.
Some of the things that died through the session was the raising of the smoking age. AG Bob Ferguson wants to raise it to 21, but for the second year in a row, an effort by lawmakers died in the legislature. Also, a measure that sought to help increase voter engagement passed the House, but died in the Senate during the regular session. This was about automatic voter registration, and it basically you have to opt out, I believe, if you don't want to. That's how they do it in Oregon now, too, as well. Automatically registered people who aren't on the voter rolls but already have applied for an enhanced driver's license or CDL.
And a proposal to raise states' portions of beginning teacher salaries from almost $36,000 to $40,000 to recruit and retain new public school teachers did not find its way into the final budget, but House Democrat leaders say they will try to hike the salaries again next year.
Well, they got a lot of work to deal with all that McCleary stuff next year as well, so they're going to be in for it for sure. Mary Lynn Foster's news is next. We'll have more on Daybreak as well. Coming up.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
From the iFIBER One News Radio studios, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The city of Shelton is working on a comprehensive plan this year. It's a roadmap of sorts that helps guide the city's future growth while protecting our natural resources and refining our community character. Steve Goins came on Daybreak for the Focus on Shelton segment and talked about a meeting that's coming up tomorrow.
We are proposing a couple areas that we want to expand into the urban growth area, pretty large areas. One would be an employment center located basically west of the State Patrol Academy. There's a stretch of road there, the route toward the Correction Center. So that area, as well as an area south of the Shelton Hills proposed development, there's some land there that the owner would like to bring into the UGA. So we're adding those to the environmental review of our comprehensive plan update. We have a meeting scheduled on April 6th at the Civic Center, 5:30 to 7:30. That will basically review what we're proposing, and it's a chance for the public to comment on, hey, what kind of environmental issues should we be looking at as we analyze this?
That meeting tomorrow is open to the public. Learn more about the 2016 Comprehensive Plan and how to get involved on the City of Shelton's website, ci.shelton.wa.us. The Mason PUD3 Commission is opposing a carbon tax initiative, citing increased taxes on electricity customers, unclear impacts on the Washington state budget, and concerns over measuring emissions from power generation prompted the PUD3 Board of Commissioners to adopt a resolution last week opposing the Carbon Tax Initiative 732. Linda Gott, Commission President, says that while the intent of the initiative is admirable, Mason PUD3's electricity is already 97% carbon-free. Based on studies from the Washington PUD Association, the tax on the 3% of PUD's electricity that comes from natural gas and coal could increase costs to customers between $567,000 and nearly $1.9 million in the first year alone. Supporters of the initiative say it provides cleaner energy solutions by taxing carbon while offsetting increased costs with tax breaks. A developer wants to donate a historic brew house. Tumwater's mayor is expected to sign an agreement at a council meeting today that donates the 111-year-old brick structure while calling for the city to design and build public access. The agreement with Falls Development LLC asks that the historic building be remodeled and preserved. The city is working toward creating a craft brewing and distilling hub that provides jobs and contributes to the local economy. For iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important, so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
It's about your life and your money. It's the Dave Ramsey Show. The more generous you are, the more attractive you are. Generous people are attractive. They're just nicer people. You've been around somebody that never gives anything and is selfish. Every time you see them coming, what do they want something. They're not bringing something to the party. They're taking something from the party. All they talk about is themselves and what they can get from the interaction. Those aren't generous people. Hi, this is Dave Ramsey. Tune into my show weekdays from noon to 3 on iFIBER One News Radio.
Thriller in Houston as the Cats stun North Carolina at the buzzer. Hi, everybody. Dave Packer reporting on sports.
Brian Arcidiacono flips the Jenkins three for the win. It's good! It's good! Hits the three to win the national championship.
As heard on the Westwood One NCAA radio network, Villanova head coach Jay Wright.
That was just great college basketball. Two great teams. In a national championship game to hit a shot at the buzzer, I haven't seen many better than that.
The official opening day in baseball, and we already have a walk-off.
There goes the runner. There's a shot up the middle. That's a base hit. It's over. In an opening day, the Orioles get off to the best start possible in the win column on opening day.
On WJZ, O's trump the Twins 3-2. UConn women's basketball trying for its fourth consecutive title tonight against Syracuse. This is ABC Sports. The Nationals got a new second baseman in the offseason, and Daniel Murphy comes up big on day one.
Will it stay fair? It will. It's fair and headed down into foul ground. Zimmerman will score. Daniel Murphy's into second with a double.
As heard on WJFK, Nats beat the Braves 4-3 in 10 innings. Life's not fair. Just ask Seattle's Felix Hernandez. He gives up just one hit, but the Mariners' defense lets him down. They wind up losing 3-2 to the Rangers. Dodgers' Clayton Kershaw and Cubs' Jake Arrieta both throw gems as L.A. and Chicago cruise to victories. Last year's American League MVP picks up where he left off.
Rays outfield shifts. Play Donaldson to pull, and this ball's drilled to left field. Jennings looks up, and it's way gone.
On CJCL, Blue Jays sink the Rays 5-3. Rockies double the D-backs 10-5. San Francisco spanks Milwaukee 12-3. White Sox hold on to beat Oakland 4-3. Cincinnati 6-2. Winners over Philly. Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
Now from the all-new Gillis Auto Center Sports Desk, here's Sean Wells.
Connor Weber had 3 hits with 3 RBIs as North Mason baseball knocked off Kingston 12-2. The Bulldogs combined for 11 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning on their way to their second victory in as many games. North Mason totaled 14 hits in the contest. Shelton baseball dropped a tough one on the road at Central Kitsap 9-3. The High Climbers have a shot at redemption when they host the Cougars this afternoon. Shelton fast pitch dropped their first conference game this season, losing a tough one at Central Kitsap 10-0. The High Climbers are back in action this Wednesday, hosting Lincoln. The Seattle Mariners opened up the 2016 season on the road facing the Texas Rangers. Things started out well for the Mariners as Robinson Cano blasted one over the right field fence, giving the M's a 1-0 lead. Kyle Sear then went yard in the second inning to double the lead for Seattle. But the Rangers would go on to score 3 runs in the 5th inning behind 2 Seattle errors to take the lead. Texas would hold on for the 3-2 victory over Seattle. King Felix was inconsistent on the mound for the Mariners, only giving up 1 hit but walking 5 batters in 6 innings pitched. After the game, Seattle manager Scott Service gave credit to the Rangers and opening day starter Cole Hamels.
I give credit to them. They worked away and found a way to score a few runs. And, we just, Hamels was good today. We got a couple of balls hit hard, that we got out of the ballpark. But other than that, it just tough them out today against them.
Make sure to tune in to iFIBER ONE News Radio this evening as the Mariners take on Texas in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Pre-game starts at 4 p.m., opening pitch set for 5:05. For iFIBER ONE News Radio, I'm Sean Wells.
Good morning. It's 7:39. I'm Carol Gardner, and here's the weather. Scattered showers this morning, drying out by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies with temps around 60. Tomorrow, clouds early before a mostly sunny and much warmer afternoon. And records might be broken on Thursday. We're going to possibly be pushing 80 degrees. Will remain sunny for the home opener on Friday, and right now it's 43.
Now, from the iFIBER ONE News Radio studios, it's Daybreak. Providing local news, sports, weather, and interviews to the South Sound's most important people. You, from business leaders to politicians, from activists for change to advocates for the poor. Your neighbors and newsmakers are here on Daybreak.
7:39, iFIBER ONE News Radio. Good morning to you. Jeff and Carol here. Tuesday, don't be Blues Day, and it's going to be a nice rest of the week. It's cloudy out there right now. We've got
just what I said.
I know that's what you just said. Just reiterating. We've got Joe Sanchez coming up at 8:15, and we'll talk about some great events with Carissa Benjamin from the city of Lacey at 8:45.
Washington officials are conducting a pilot program to weigh the benefits of prescribed burns and preventing wildfires. The State Department of Natural Resources is part of legislation signed by last week Governor Jay Inslee, including stronger language directing the state to approve permits for these types of burns. And this comes after last year's huge wildfire season. Prescribed burns are intentional fires meant to reduce fuel for wildfires, and Forest Service officials want to increase the scale of these burns in Washington. The new legislation requires DNR to submit a report about the burns to the legislature by December 2018. It also loosens permitting requirements if it appears the fires are unlikely to significantly detract from air quality.
7:41 here at iFIBER ONE News Radio. An update for you on iFiber1newsradio.com. The man who shot at the pursuing Mason County deputies has been caught. We read that on the Mason County Sheriff's Twitter page early this morning, but we're awaiting a press release for the final details to pass along. But it appears, though, that the guy who put, and this was Friday,
Yes.
Thursday night into Friday.
Yes. Yeah, Friday.
A chase on Johns Prairie Road with some gunfire. Looks like they have caught the guy. We're just awaiting a press release from the sheriff's office to confirm that, to make sure we get the right information out for you. On Friday, the 1st, was the first day you could buy Star Wars digitally. It's available on Blu-ray and DVD, and it's got some special features. We'll tell you about that coming up next.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER ONE News Radio.
Hi, I'm Scott Alsterberg, sales manager at the all-new Gillis Auto Center here in Shelton. Scott, I'm looking around the lot, and I see a lot more than just Dodge and Jeep and Ford.
You bet. Good local trades and good quality purchases from our community. We've got Subarus, Toyotas, Hondas, Kias, Hyundais, all the Chevrolets. We've got something for everybody. And not only that, we have certified pre-owned our Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and our full-line Ford family. And what that means is you get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty happy with those cars.
How about this being the time that you're liquidating your 2015 stock?
Well, what that means to you is you can come in our store, pick out any new 2015 that we have in stock, and we're literally going to give everything to you. I'm going to show you the invoice. I'm going to give you the dealer holdback, plus you're going to get all applicable rebates. You'll walk out of the store literally saving up to $9,923.
It is the all-new Gillis Auto Center, just off the Shelton City Center exit.
Just go to Gillis.
I feel right at home on JohnLScott.com.
Hi, this is Dawn Pinnell from John L. Scott Real Estate here in Shelton. For a while now, I have been saying welcome home and sharing with you some great listings and some hopefully educational and interesting items of riveting radio real estate topics.
Don Pinnell's Radio Real Estate every other Friday at 8:45 on iFIBER ONE Newsradio, AM 1030 and FM 1033.
I would love to help you say, I'm home.
Habitat for Humanity of Mason County invites you to shop their local retail stores in Belfair and in Shelton. At Habitat for Humanity stores, you'll find amazing bargains on discounted home improvement supplies, gently used furniture, and so much more. And when you shop Habitat for Humanity, your dollars are put to work helping to improve, build, and maintain affordable housing right here in Mason County. Habitat for Humanity. Let's build a strong community together.
iFIBER ONE News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 1033 presents Daybreak.
$7:44, iFIBER ONE News Radio, Daybreak. Jeff and Carol. Morning, Carol.
Good morning, Jeff.
Alrighty, so we mentioned that Force Awakens is now available in your home. In addition to that, well, first let's hear about the new version on Blu-ray and DVD coming out.
The top-grossing movie of all time here in the United States is now available on Blu-ray and DVD. Star Wars The Force Awakens includes the usual extras and then some, like the much-talked-about table read.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
How about some deleted scenes?
Is there another way out of here?
And there's a behind-the-scenes documentary called Secrets of the Force Awakens.
Star Wars seemed like the kind of universe that might accept me.
Star Wars The Force Awakens has been available for streaming since Friday. David Blaustein, ABC News.
That was a good movie. There was a lot of anticipation for that new Star Wars. It's been decades in the making.
Mm-hmm.
And with something as beloved as Star Wars, people are like, it's going to get messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think J.J. Abrams I don't think he did a bad job at all. I think it was a great way to continue on the series, bring in a whole new group of people that loved it, and rekindled the bitter taste that a lot of people had after those episodes 1, 2, 3 came out in the late 90s, early aughts.
But some people liked those, though. Right?
There are some. I believe they're all younger kids.
Oh.
From everybody that I've talked to, the traditionalists, the purists, they're all episodes 4, 5, 6, and now 7.
They just sort of skip
really
over those.
Need those 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah, that's true.
So Star Wars lost another member of its cast yesterday, and it was Eric Bauersfeld. Carol, does that name sound familiar to you? Eric Bauersfeld.
Well,
it probably doesn't, and that's okay.
Yeah.
He is a voice actor. He had 3 words, I believe, in Return of the Jedi. He's passed away at the age of 93, old radio guy. You want to know what his line was that everybody remembers now?
It's a trap.
He's the "It's a Trap" guy.
I'm going to have to rewatch
Admiral
these movies.
Akbar.
It's a trap.
Anyways, he's passed away at the age of 93 in California. Big time radio guy. He was working at LucasArts on a radio project. That's when he stumbled into the role of a lifetime as Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. 7:46 at iFIBER ONE News Radio, and a good morning to you. It's Daybreak here. We've got great guests coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, including information on public health from Mason County Public Health. Joe Sanchez is coming in. Also, Susan Herrick, who is the communicable disease public health nurse for Mason County. We'll talk about National Public Health Week, the prescription drug take-back program, and immunizations, and Public Health Week display case, which is in Building 1. And by the way, Building 1 is where the county commissioners meet at in downtown Shelton. So we'll talk about that with Joe. And then also Carissa Benjamin from the city of Lacey is coming in at 8:45 to talk about some things that are happening in the city of Lacey. Take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll have some more stories for you from around the Northwest and around the world. Right here on Daybreak.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER ONE News Radio.
Looking for a productive use for a bumper crop of dandelions? A brief course in dandelion cuisine today from the Old Farmer's Almanac. With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report for Tuesday, April 5th, the 96th day of the year. Screen legends Betty Davis, Gregory Peck, and Spencer Tracy were all born on this day. Dandelions pack a powerful nutritional punch, and if you know what you're doing, they can be quite delicious. Here's some advice from dandelion devotees. First, avoid the dandelions in your lawn. The best edible dandelions are from untended fields. Pick the greens early in the season, just after the bloom bud appears. Many people enjoy them raw, tossed in a salad, but you can also prepare them cooked. Just boil for 5 minutes, then season with butter and salt. A few words of caution: wash thoroughly before eating and never use dandelions treated with herbicides. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report. Find more lawn and garden tips at almanac.com.
Hey, baseball fans, it's that time of year again to join iFIBER ONE News Radio for Seattle Mariners baseball. Baseball is part of the fabric of summertime in the Northwest, and with people traveling to enjoy outdoor activities like camping, fishing, hiking, and boating, the only place to listen to the Seattle Mariners is on iFIBER ONE News Radio. People ask what they remember about a business when they have a need, and they always remember the name that they hear, the one that is most relevant in their mind. Advertising makes your business relevant and part of the community. Your business can be part of the Mariners broadcast each day or each inning of every game this summer by signing up now. Any business that signs up now to advertise with the Mariners gets up to 300 free scheduled magnets. Call iFIBER ONE News Radio today at 360-426-1030 and sign up to be part of the Mariners broadcast team.
iFIBER ONE News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
It's about 10 to 8 here on Daybreak. Good morning to you, Jeff and Carol on iFIBER ONE News Radio. Morning to you, Carol.
Good morning, Jeff.
All right, so here's a big movie premiere in Hollywood last night. And if you think The Jungle Book is going to be all blue and cartoony,
For those bare necessities, simple bare necessities, goodbye to worries and your
well, all right, so this new movie is nothing like this cartoon that we used to watch there for Disney and The Jungle Book, where little Mowgli was a human and he was out in the jungle, and then Shere Khan was, I think, the panther, and then there was the Louis the lion, or Louis the orangutan, and all sorts of good stuff. Well, it's a new movie, it's a new look, and it premiered in Hollywood last night.
Jungle is no longer safe for you.
Hollywood Boulevard set up to look like a jungle for the Jungle Book premiere. Sir Ben Kingsley telling us that anyone going in trying to compare this version to the 1967 animated Disney classic.
I think that they'll stop making comparisons within 5 seconds. It sweeps you in. Totally intoxicating experience.
Director Jon Favreau said it wasn't an easy line to walk.
If you just remake the original, there are no surprises. You got to give them what they want, but you got to surprise them with something new, too.
The Jungle Book hits theaters April 15th. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Am I the only one that's still amazed at the fact that the guy from Swingers, Jon Favreau, is like an amazing director these days? He did the Iron Man movies. He was in Chef. He directed and starred in Chef. And now he's doing The Jungle Book, which opens in 10 days. I like the
Jungle
Jungle Book.
Yeah.
I like the Jungle Book.
Well, I think I had a Jungle Book game, at one point. And yeah, I think I really used to like the Jungle Book. Don't barely remember it, but I thought there was some like controversy over the Jungle Book. No.
I don't know about the Jungle Book. Maybe another one of those. They're always running a fine line between.
Yeah, they are. But it should be interesting because for one thing, the animation today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's it's like obviously like real looking.
Christopher Walken is in it. Scarlett Johansson. I mean, these are the voices, I should say. Christopher Walken, Scarlett Johansson, Ben Kingsley, who we heard from.
Bill Murray's in it.
Bill Murray,
Yeah.
and the late Gary Shandling is his last movie.
Yeah.
And his
It
voice.
should probably be fun to go see.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing is I was watching a show yesterday, and and it is on cable, extended. It was on Spike, which, whatever. Bar Rescue. Anyways, I noticed that they're using a lot more vulgar language on television these days. Like a-hole, like they say the whole word and they don't bleep it out. Have you noticed this?
Is this on cable or on like regular?
I've noticed it on cable, but I've also noticed them starting to push the envelope a little bit on regular TV.
Really? I guess I don't watch as much TV as you do, so I'm not really noticing that.
Well, let's find out more.
A watchdog group, the Parents Television Council, says the TV content rating system needs to be changed since it fails to protect kids from adult fare. The study says there are problems with how shows are rated by the 20-year-old system and who rates them. The group's president says young viewers are routinely exposed to graphic violence, explicit sex, and profanity. The 254-member TV Parental Guidelines Monitoring Board is made up mostly of representatives from the broadcast networks and cable channels whose programs get rated. Dave Schreiber, ABC News.
I mean, at least when you go on websites that have to deal with alcohol or marijuana or guns or things like that, you have to put in your birth date, or even video games that are rated M for mature. Now, you could put in any birth date. We know this, but at least there's some sort of a stopgap there.
Right, but where
you can't do that on TV.
Where do you draw the line, and why are parents not paying attention to what their children are watching? That, to me, that's the thing. I mean, I remember watching some shows when I was really little, and my mom came and turned off the TV.
You shouldn't be watching this.
I mean, and it's probably a good thing she turned them off. They were like horror movies. I seem to remember, but I remember one incident. I guess my mom's probably listening, and going, "Well, I don't remember that." But I mean, so you're going to be Kaiser's going to be. Sure. How are you going to regulate what he watches? And plus, gaming. They talk about movies. Isn't gaming a lot more violent and sexually explicit?
Well, sure, but PlayStations and PlayStation 4s, they are, if you look into this and the games, they are made for me, male, 36.
So then how come they sell them to children?
They don't. They're not supposed to. If you go to the store and you buy, and you see on Call of Duty, for example, in the bottom right corner, it says M. It's rated M for mature. The people there at the store are supposed to ID, and I've been ID'd buying video games in the last 10 years.
But parents could buy them for their children without realizing
because they don't understand what's in it.
Right. So then that goes back to the parents should probably be paying attention to what the kids are watching or going to the movie.
And I'm finding this out more and more. There is such a hustle bustle going on that you very rarely have time to sit down and watch.
Do you have any time to actually talk to your child?
Oh, man, I got to get back to my bar rescue. 7:56 at iFIBER One. The governor has appointed a new head of the state Office of Aerospace to lead efforts to develop the aerospace industry sector. Starting today, John Thornquist will serve as the main contact for North America and international aerospace companies looking to expand their presence in Washington. 28 years experience in business and engineering, working most recently as the CEO for Everett-based Carbon Aerospace, and he'll be in the Office of Economic Development and Competitiveness.
And a panel of ocean scientists say global carbon dioxide emissions are rapidly altering ocean chemistry along the West Coast, and urgent action is needed to combat the troubling changes. The group warned in a report put out yesterday that failing to respond to ocean acidification will have devastating ecological consequences. California, Oregon, Washington, and the province of British Columbia in 2013 brought together 20 scientists to come up with management tools to address ocean acidification in waters with extremely low oxygen levels. And the panel outlined these actions that governments can take, including exploring using seagrass to remove carbon dioxide from seawater, improving monitoring the network and identifying areas where local pollutants can make problems worse. Governor Jay Inslee says he's ready to work with his counterparts on the West Coast to lead on this issue.
Well, yesterday at noon, we heard the sweet sounds of the Mariners pregame as Mariners baseball gets underway for the 2016 season. It's right here and only here in the South Sound on iFIBER ONE News Radio, AM 1030 and FM 1033. I want to thank the sponsors that helped us get the Mariners on the air for you. Mariners Monday Trivia Contest coming up this Monday, April 11th. Your first chance to win tickets to an upcoming Mariners game. Listen for Sean Wells' sports report throughout the morning on Monday, and it'll have to do with the previous day's game. He'll have a little bit of a clue in there. We'll take a moment of that report and use it as our question to ask you to call in at a specified time. And unlike years gone by, we are call in, get the answer, win the tickets. We're not messing around. We want people to have a great time this year. Head up to the safe. We've got a bunch of pairs of tickets. We're even going to throw in a family 4-pack around the 4th of July holiday to give away to some folks. And it's going to be a great game. Lost, though, yesterday, 3-2. Felix did a good job through 6. He did walk 5. He doesn't remember the last time he had 5 walks. Unfortunately, 3 walks came in the 5th, and then a couple of errors help Texas get the lead and final that score at 3-2. But
you have a theory.
I do have a theory that they've won the last 9 opening days, and their time in the postseason in October over the last 9 years has been minimal. And they won the first game. And so I'm just saying, let's put a different spin on this thing. Maybe they did a loss for the first time, and that'll move them into the postseason.
Do we have a pool on this?
No. It is news time now. Mary Lynn Foster's coming up after ABC News. Sean Wells has a sports report. Carol checks the weather. And there's a snowman in there somewhere. She'll fix that when she's on.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER ONE News Radio.
Dave Ramsey helps you handle your money. Weekdays from noon to 3 on iFIBER ONE News Radio, AM 1030, FM 1033, KMAS Shelton. Tom Hartman is live and waiting your call. Weekdays from 9 to noon on iFIBER ONE News Radio, AM 1030, FM 1033, KMAS Shelton.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. It's a make or break day for Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders as Wisconsin voters head to the polls for their pivotal primary. Trump predicts he'll surprise pundits and pollsters and do well. But would he wear a cheesehead hat to ensure victory? No.
No, because you know what? I've seen too much with Michael Dukakis, okay? Right? You understand. Yeah, the helmet. That was one of the great mistakes in history, putting on the helmet. No, I'll take a pass.
Meanwhile, Ted Cruz is hoping to trip up Trump with a win in the Badger State and raise the chances of forcing a contested convention.
The entire country is looking at the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin has a national platform.
Bernie Sanders is counting on Wisconsin to keep his campaign going. Polls suggest he has a narrow lead over Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, Trump is confirming a newspaper story detailing how he plans to get Mexico to pay for a border wall. ABC's Tom Yamas has more.
According to the Post, Trump, as president, would cut off all the money Mexican immigrants send back to their families in Mexico. That, no doubt, would choke the Mexican economy, and Trump thinks that would force them to then pay for the wall. The problem is it's unclear if that's even legal, and it no doubt would fracture a relationship with a key trading partner and a diplomatic ally.
A few more days of winter have sneaked into spring in the Midwest and Northeast, where snow has fallen. Emerald is recalling some of its nut snack packs because they could contain bits of broken glass. The affected products include 100-calorie pack roasted and salted cashew halves and pieces. Former workers are filing a class action lawsuit against Pizza Hut over wages. They claim the company, as customers got deep discounts, forced them to work more than 20 hours a week off the clock, didn't pay them overtime, and ultimately fired them for complaining. Subway wants you to know exactly what you're eating. The food franchise is moving ahead with plans to post calorie counts right on its menus now, even though federal enforcement of the new rules has gotten wrapped up in red tape and is delayed. This is ABC News.
Prices are for base buildings only and may not be available in some areas. This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. So call General Steel now for the quality and the price in a pre-engineered steel building that you just can't beat. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How much can you save? How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $35,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first. Call 888-98-STEEL today and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. Don't let rising steel prices put your project in jeopardy. Call now to lock in your price for 3 months. Call 888-98-STEEL. That's 888-98-STEEL. Call today and save thousands. 888-98-STEEL. That's 888-987-8335.
It's the NFL online. The league has just signed on the dotted line to live stream one of its big games on Twitter. More from ABC's Mark Remillard.
A social media platform known for its minimalism has landed the biggest sport on TV. The NFL announced Tuesday that Twitter will begin live streaming Thursday night football games. A total of 10 games will be available on the platform entirely free and without the need to register, according to a statement from the NFL. That means hundreds of millions of Twitter users can watch the game on PCs and mobile without having a cable subscription. The NFL says the partnership will also include in-game highlights and pre-game Periscope broadcasts for a behind-the-scenes look. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
More fallout for North Carolina's new law prohibiting cities and towns from passing laws protecting members of the LGBT community. PayPal has withdrawn plans to open a new global operations center in Charlotte and hire 400 new people, saying the decision reflects its deepest values and strong belief that every person has the right to be treated equally and with dignity and respect. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
From the iFIBER ONE Newsradio studios, I'm Marilyn Foster. The city of Shelton is working on a comprehensive plan this year. It's a roadmap of sorts that helps guide the city's future growth while protecting our natural resources and refining our community character. Steve Goins came on Daybreak for the Focus on Shelton segment and talked about a meeting that's coming up tomorrow.
We are proposing a couple areas that we want to expand into the urban growth area, pretty large areas. One would be a employment center located basically west of the State Patrol Academy. There's a stretch of road there, the route toward the Correction Center. So that area, as well as an area south of the Shelton Hills proposed development, there's some land there that the owner would like to bring into the UGA. So we're adding those to the environmental review of our comprehensive plan update. We have a meeting scheduled on April 6th at the Civic Center, 5:30 to 7:30. That will basically review what we're proposing, and it's a chance for the public to comment on, hey, what kind of environmental issues should we be looking at as we analyze this?
That meeting tomorrow is open to the public. Learn more about the 2016 Comprehensive Plan and how to get involved on the City of Shelton's website, ci.shelton.wa.us. The Mason PUD3 Commission is opposing a carbon tax initiative, citing increased taxes on electricity customers, unclear impacts on the Washington state budget, and concerns over measuring emissions from power generation prompted the PUD3 Board of Commissioners to adopt a resolution last week opposing the Carbon Tax Initiative 732. Linda Gott, Commission President, says that while the intent of the initiative is admirable, Mason PUD3's electricity is already 97% carbon-free. Based on studies from the Washington PUD Association, the tax on the 3% of PUD's electricity that comes from natural gas and coal could increase costs to customers between $567,000 and nearly $1.9 million in the first year alone. Supporters of the initiative say it provides cleaner energy solutions by taxing carbon while offsetting increased costs with tax breaks. A developer wants to donate a historic brew house. Tumwater's mayor is expected to sign an agreement at a council meeting today that donates the 111-year-old brick structure while calling for the city to design and build public access. The agreement with Falls Development LLC asks that the historic building be remodeled and preserved. The city is working toward creating a craft brewing and distilling hub that provides jobs and contributes to the local economy. For iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3, I'm Marilyn Foster.
Are you a do-it-yourselfer or a direct-it-yourselfer?
Every weekend, people tell us about overspending on projects they could have handled themselves for lots less money.
And we hear from people who ended up overspending because they tried to do something they should have called in a pro to tackle.
Well, we'll help you sort it out. I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Got a remodeling or a repair project?
We can help you decide whether to do it yourself or direct it yourself this weekend on the Money Fit Home Improvement Radio Show.
Saturdays at 10, Sundays at 7 on iFIBER One News Radio.
This is Doug Sample from Whitney Chevrolet. We're going to save you money. Montesano has one of the lowest sales tax rates in the state, plus our costs are way less than other dealers. And right now, we're offering up to 90 days with no payments on any new or used vehicles with proof of your tax refund. They all come with lifetime oil changes to boot. Stop by and visit WhitneyChev.com to check out our inventory.
A $150 negotiable document fee may be added to the price of all vehicles.
Worth the drive to Whitney's, just down the road to Whitney's.
Now from the all-new Gillis Auto Center Sports Desk, here's Sean Wells.
Connor Weber had 3 hits with 3 RBIs as North Mason baseball knocked off Kingston 12-2. The Bulldogs combined for 11 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning on their way to their 2nd victory in as many games. North Mason totaled 14 hits in the contest. Shelton baseball dropped a tough one on the road at Central Kitsap 9-3. The High Climbers have a shot at redemption when they host the Cougars this afternoon. Shelton fast pitch dropped their first conference game this season, losing a tough one at Central Kitsap 10-0. The High Climbers are back in action this Wednesday, hosting Lincoln. The Seattle Mariners opened up the 2016 season on the road facing the Texas Rangers. Things started out well for the Mariners as Robinson Cano blasted one over the right field fence, giving the Yims a 1-0 lead. Kyle Sear then went yard in the 2nd inning to double the lead for Seattle. But the Rangers would go on to score 3 runs in the 5th inning behind 2 Seattle errors to take the lead. Texas would hold on for the 3-2 victory over Seattle. King Felix was inconsistent on the mound for the Mariners, only giving up 1 hit but walking 5 batters in 6 innings pitched. After the game, Seattle manager Scott Service gave credit to the Rangers and opening day starter Cole Hamels.
I give credit to them. They worked away and found that way to score a few runs. And, we just, Hamels was good today. We got a couple of balls hit hard, that we got out of the ballpark. But other than that, it was just tough to mount against them.
Make sure to tune into iFIBER One News Radio this evening as the Mariners take on Texas in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Pre-game starts at 4 p.m., opening pitch set for 5:05. For iFIBER One News Radio, I'm Sean Wells.
Good morning. It's 8:11. I'm Carol Gardner, and here's the weather. Scattered showers this morning, drying out by the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies with temps around 60. Tomorrow, clouds early, before a mostly sunny and warmer afternoon. And records might be broken on Thursday. We possibly will get to 80.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right.
Snowman in golf is an 8.
Yes, snowman in golf is an 8, which I just learned from Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
I learned that years ago on the golf course.
I golfed maybe twice in my life. And speaking of games, Friday we have the home opener, and it's going to still stay sunny, not record-breaking. And right now it's 45.
Now, from the iFIBER One News Radio studios, it's Daybreak. Providing local news, sports, weather, and interviews to the South Sound's most important people. You. From business leaders to politicians, from activists for change to advocates for the poor, your neighbors and newsmakers are here on Daybreak.
8:11 at iFIBER One News Radio. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Carol, and we have got some great guests out in the lobby. We'll be bringing them back here in just a moment. We'll be talking about National Public Health Week with Joe Sanchez and Susan Herrick from the county. Also, we're going to talk about the prescription drug take-back program and where you can see beautiful display in Building 1 about Public Health Week. Additionally, at 8:45 from the city of Lacey, Carissa Benjamin is coming in and talking with us about things that are happening with the Lacey South Sound Chamber. She's the event coordinator for the Lacey South Sound Chamber. Does a lot of stuff with the city, and we'll be talking about some of the different fundraisings that they're working on and different events that you can get out and enjoy as we get towards summer. I mean, more and more the weather, as Carol's mentioning, 80 maybe this week. It's going to be very nice. Going to have some great opportunities for you to get out there, get active, shake the dust off after a long winter.
I'm sure there will still be some April showers before we get to Mayflowers.
Well, probably. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
Everyone needs healthcare insurance. It's the law now. And if you're still without a plan, Mason General Hospital can help you get started. Register now to avoid a fine on your taxes. Go online to Mason General Hospital's homepage and click on Washington Health Plan Finder, where you can browse the various health plans available. When you find the plan you want, call Mason General's project supervisor, Susanna Lopez, who will see if you qualify and help you get registered. It's easy. Just click, compare plans, and call 432-7766.
Mason General Hospital and family of clinics. Equal opportunity provider. Translation services provided.
Mason General and family of clinics.
At highway speeds, the average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts. StopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The new Money Monopoly game is at McDonald's. We're giving away 100 million food and cash prizes. That means 1 in 4 wins. Just peel for a chance to win instant prizes like $100 cash. Or collect pieces for your chance to win $1 million. 100 million prizes. 1 in 4 wins. You could be the one. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. No purchase necessary. Open to residents of U.S. ends 4/25. Odds of winning in-restaurant game approximately 1 in 4. Mostly food prizes. $1 million prize awarded is $50,000 per year for 20 years without interest. See official rules at participating McDonald's or playmcd.com for more details. Void where prohibited.
Introducing McDonald's Signature Crafted Recipes. We're talking bold sandwiches featuring authentic ingredients.
What?
You know it, like the guacamole made with Haas avocados in the Pico guacamole recipe.
Wow.
Barbecue sauce made with Vidalia onions in the sweet barbecue bacon recipe.
Nice.
And bacon with maple seasoning in the maple bacon Dijon recipe.
Amazing.
Try them on chicken or beef.
I want to try them all.
It's a new way to enjoy McDonald's. Create your signature crafted sandwich today at participating McDonald's.
iFIBER One News Radio wants to take this time to thank the sponsors of Mariners Baseball who help bring the games to you on AM 1030 and FM 103.3. You can show your appreciation by supporting our local advertisers who bring you Mariners Baseball in the South Sound. When you support our local sponsors, you are supporting our local communities. More Mariner Baseball is on the way from iFIBER One News Radio.
iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
8:15 here at iFIBER One News Radio. Good morning to you. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Carol here. And we've got some great guests in studio this morning. Joe Sanchez back on the air with us, along with Susan Herrick, the communicable disease public health nurse for Mason County Public Health. Good morning, y'all. How you doing?
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in. This is fun to talk with you and get to meet you, Susan. Been with the county for, what you said, 2 years?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And Joe, how are you coming along here?
I'm doing great. It's baseball started, so I'm all excited about
Big
that.
baseball fan?
Oh, yeah, and I'm excited about National public health.
Yeah. That's why we're really here today to talk about National Public Health Week. So, Joe, what is National Public Health Week, and what does it mean for us here in Mason County?
Okay, so this comes from the White House. They basically issue a proclamation. The president signed it, so I have it right here. We can always put it up on the website for you. And it's basically just kind of reminding everybody, calling upon states and organizations and nonprofit and individuals and everybody to just, it's a time to be mindful about your health, maybe go get your checkups, teach people about it, teach your kids about it. And so that's basically what it's all about. So here in Mason County, it's kind of a time for us to reflect on, where we're headed. And I do want to mention that our ranking is up again. They just came out 2 weeks ago.
Oh, great.
And we're up to 29th now. And we were 37th in 2010. And each year we're
getting better,
progressing. So that's a big...
You were here at the beginning of last month. Was that right? So just within a month, some more numbers have come out.
So it comes out every year. It's a big study that's done, and it comes out every year. And it just... When we interviewed, it was kind of towards the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Or of that study. And now here's the new study that just came out. And so it's available on countyhealthrankings.org, and you can take a look at that and play around with it. It's pretty fun to see some of the numbers.
Interesting.
So I do want to mention that a few things that did drop that are actually pretty exciting is less people are choosing to smoke. So that's a really big deal because that directly contributes to, disease prevention and your lifespan. And premature teen births has also dropped, and unemployment ranking is the lowest it's been since 2010. So
wow,
some good things.
That is very good.
So do you think this has to do with public outreach that you guys have been doing this last year that helps with that, or?
It's a community. It's all community. It's not necessarily anything we're doing. There's a lot of collective impact work going on. Mason Matters, for example, they bring a bunch of stakeholders together. So what the push now is that instead of just letting all these individual organizations handle things, they're coming together in coalitions and bringing all the stakeholders together and saying, how can we start working so that we're all flowing together and using each other's resources? And so that collective impact approach is what you'll start hearing a lot about here in Mason County.
Susan, you're the communicable disease public health nurse for the county.
That's right.
And one of the things that we're going to talk about here with you, I believe here is National Drug Take Back Program. Are you with that, or is that Joe?
That's
still with you?
Actually.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about immunizations.
Yes,
perfect. Actually, Ben Johnson, who sits next to me, he's an amazing resource. He's been with the county for a long time, and he's done a lot of work. And over the past several years, he's been working with this prescription drug take-back program. So he goes out and promotes it. The sheriff's department actually holds it, so do not bring your prescription drugs to us, but we can tell you where to take them. And we'll have the two sites available on our website. There's a little drop box that you just go put your prescription drugs in. But there's some cool statistics. Just in December and January, they've had 247 pounds collected of prescription drugs. And so this goes, the DEA, and these are really interesting numbers. So nationwide in 2010, they started this program. 242,000 pounds of prescription drugs were collected. And 2014, the latest numbers we have, 780,000 pounds of prescription drugs that were, taken back by the public. So it's not ending up in the water. It's not getting stolen. It's not ending up in the wrong hands. But the cool thing about it is people are just doing this all on their own. They're actually getting in their cars, going all the way down to the drop boxes. And I just think that's amazing. It shows you the power of people. I'm kicking myself that I didn't invent this program. So go ahead and we do that year round, but now's the time for us so Ben's got his sign up on the public health, building.
Is there a picture of what that amount of pounds looks like? Because when I think of prescriptions, they're tiny little pills, and it all adds up to hundreds of thousands of pounds.
I did look for one because I wanted to show it, and I couldn't really find anything, so I'm sending an email out and if I do find something, I'll post it on the Facebook page, because stuff like that is really cool to see, and I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get it.
Yeah. But it is amazing to think about how many pills probably goes into a 250,000 pounds.
And people can just drop off all year. This is just your push for the awareness.
Yes,
That's really good,
it's a
because
neat
you're thinking,
program.
what am I supposed to do with all this stuff? So we have that option now.
That's pretty neat.
All right, immunizations, and we're going to turn it now to Susan on this one. talk to me a little bit about immunizations. Should we get immunizations? Where are we at with the county and things like that?
Okay. Well, yes, you do need to be immunized. It's there are so many vaccine preventable diseases. Whooping cough is one of those, and whooping cough is on the rise. So that's why I kind of decided to focus on whooping cough. It's known as pertussis. It's highly contagious. It's a bacterial infection, and it's one of the most common vaccine preventable diseases in the United States. Last year, in the state of Washington, we had 1,381 cases. So that's quite a few. And this year so far, there's 92. So it's a bit down, but we still have a lot of work to do.
What's the vaccine for this?
It's called Tdap. It's for tetanus, diphtheria, and acellular pertussis, which is whooping cough. And so it's a combination vaccine, and they make a childhood version of it called DTaP, and that's what babies have. 2, 4, and 6 months, 15 to 18 months, and at 4 to 6 years. Those are the dosings. That's the dosing schedule. So it's very important for children to get those vaccines. So they have 5 DTaP before they even start kindergarten. Then as they get older, immunity wanes. So at about 11 to 12 years old, they're supposed to get the Tdap, which is the adult adolescent version. And so at 11 to 12 years, that's when they get that one.
I remember when I was in school, we would get the nurses came and we got the vaccines at school. Is that program still happening?
No, actually, no. We don't go into the schools, or the state doesn't go into the schools. What we do is your primary care provider has the vaccine, or pharmacies have the vaccine now. And actually, we do too. The public health department has the Tdap vaccine available for uninsured, underinsured, Medicaid eligible. And so it's really easy to access the vaccine.
So you say around 11 or 12, the last inoculations are starting to wane a little bit. Are there additionally, through the years of an adult, through adulthood, that you need to maintain on this?
Yes, you just need to get one Tdap, but after that, every 10 years you get a TD, which is the tetanus diphtheria only. So that's the only pertussis one, or whooping cough one. And that's especially important because babies are very vulnerable. And so each pregnancy, a woman needs to get a Tdap. Each and every pregnancy. Okay?
So the P in those is pertussis.
Right. Right. That's the whooping cough. And let me give you a few statistics about how serious the disease is for babies. More than half of the infants less than 1 year old who get the disease must be hospitalized. About 1 in 5 infants with whooping cough get pneumonia. About 1 in 100 infants will have seizures with the disease, and about 1 in 100 infants who are hospitalized will die from the disease. So it's very serious to babies, and it causes a cough which can be kind of violent and have spells, so that there could be apnea where the breathing actually stops for a time, or it's so hard to catch their breath that they make a whooping sound, and that's where the name of the disease comes from, whooping cough. They kind of have a strong whooping noise when they cough. So it's very dangerous for babies, and that's why it's so important that mothers are vaccinated and people that are around babies. Like Joe's going to have a baby soon. His
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Brought this up, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Gotta get this done.
Yeah, so he's going to need to get a Tdap, and anyone around that's going to be around the baby, grandparents, siblings, aunts and uncles who will be with the baby need to have that vaccine. So, because that's where the babies are getting it, through the people around them. So that's how we can protect babies. And so Joe will need to be doing that.
Sign him up. Make sure he gets
I will.
So you can go to a primary care physician or clinics like that. They have got these.
Yes, pharmacies do.
And underinsured folks can go just to the county?
Yes. And we it's provided free at the county. So we're happy to have people come in, and we're glad to do that for them.
So if you don't remember when your last booster shot was, you should just go get the vaccine.
Absolutely. If you don't remember, especially if you're going to have a baby in the family, to protect that baby, don't worry about it. Just come in and we'll give you one. It's not a problem.
It's 8:25. We're talking with Joe Sanchez and Susan Herrick, the communicable disease public health nurse, meeting her for the first time on Daybreak. And Public Health Week is going on in Building 1 in downtown Shelton. You got a display going on. Also, some prizes. Joe, what's going on with this?
Yeah, we have a display case, and it's some things that maybe you forgot about or just kind of a reminder of some things. So take your kids down there, your family. You go walk right when you walk in the building, it's right there. And we have a little drop box there. You can write, we have a little question. You can write your name and the answer to the question, drop it in there. There's a big fun run coming up. We have free entry to that, plus 4 like 50% off discounts. And then there's a local restaurant that donated a gift card. So they're good prizes. So
wow.
Yeah.
All right. So it is in the County Commissioner's Building in downtown Shelton, Building 1. You can just walk right in there and see that. Mason County Public Health on the internet. You can just Google that. Also on Facebook. I know you guys have a pretty good Facebook presence as well. And we link to a lot of these from our page as well.
Yes.
So we definitely thank you for coming in. Joe Sanchez, the community health educator, been on a couple times with us now. And Susan Herrick, the communicable disease public health nurse for Mason County Public Health. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for
some great information.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. She was a little nervous, and this is her first time. And she's amazing, and Mason County should be so proud to have her. She is a hard worker. She's an unbelievable asset for us. So,
well, it's good to know. Good to meet you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
8:28 now at iFIBER 1. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get the morning stock numbers, and then Mary Lynn Foster has the news here on Daybreak.
Listening to Daybreak on iFIBER 1 News Radio.
Attention music lovers, in the mood for a little rock and roll this spring?
Come catch Heart by Heart live at Lucky Eagle Casino April 15th and 16th.
They'll play your favorite Heart tunes, and your $15 tickets include $10 in free play and $5 credit at our new Craft House Sports Bar.
So come enjoy an evening of great music, food, and fun for a song.
Heart by Heart, April 15th and 16th at Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel, I-5 to exit 88, Rochester, Washington, where you belong.
You know, there's nothing like the look and feel of a real newspaper. Award-winning writers in design, voted one of the best newspapers in Washington, the Mason County Journal has the news, opinion, and information you want. Full of colorful photos and great-looking ads, share it with family and friends. No electricity required. Look for us at over 80 locations throughout the county or visit masoncounty.com. The Mason County Journal, a big part of this wonderful place we call home.
iFIBER 1 News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
8:29, iFIBER 1 News Radio. It's Daybreak here. I'm on the phone line from Edward Jones. Karen Schaaf, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday indeed.
Yes. So how are you?
We are well. We just learned some good information about whooping cough and pertussis. National Public Health Week going on.
Oh, okay.
It's nice to make sure we're up on our immunizations if we need to be.
Oh, yes. Always, always, always.
How's Wall Street?
Well, U.S. stocks are trading lower as concerns about global growth are weighing in on equities for a second day. And economic news growth in America's service industries accelerated in March for the first time in 5 months, indicating the economy has improved after a sluggish start to the year. Separate data showed the U.S. trade deficit widened more than expected in February as a rebound in exports was offset by an increase to imports. On the earnings front, Walgreens reportedly quarterly results in line with expectations as the company continues to successfully implement its cost containment program. U.S. bond prices are trending higher. So far this morning, the S&P 500, the best performing sector is industrials, while the worst performing sector is utilities. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 77 points at 17,659. The Standard & Poor's 500 index is down 17 points at 2,048, and the NASDAQ Composite Index is down 30 points at 4,860. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is high, about 258 million shares being traded, and decliners are outnumbering advancers by roughly 3-to-1 margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is up $13.26 to $1,228.85. The spot price of silver is up 20 cents to $15.12, and crude oil prices are down a nickel to $35.65. In the bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 2.55%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 1.73%. Stocks of local interest: Amazon is down $2.75, Costco is down $1.12, Boeing is up $1.65. Starbucks is down 45 cents, and Microsoft is down 38 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton, and if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590, and daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
All right, Karen, have a great one.
You too.
8:31 there at iFIBER One News Radio, and the latest in local news brought to you right now by Fred Holmes Tree Service.
From the iFIBER One News Radio studios, I'm Marilyn Foster. The city of Shelton is working on a comprehensive plan this year. It's a roadmap of sorts that helps guide the city's future growth while protecting our natural resources and refining our community character. Steve Goins came on Daybreak for the Focus on Shelton segment and talked about a meeting that's coming up tomorrow.
We are proposing a couple areas that we want to expand into the urban growth area, pretty large areas. One would be an employment center located basically west of the State Patrol Academy. There's a stretch of road there, the route toward the Correction Center. So that area, as well as an area south of the Shelton Hills proposed development, there's some land there that the owner would like to bring into the UGA. So we're adding those to the environmental review of our comprehensive plan update. We have a meeting scheduled on April 6th at the Civic Center, 5:30 to 7:30. That will basically review what we're proposing, and it's a chance for the public to comment on, hey, what kind of environmental issues should we be looking at as we analyze this?
That meeting tomorrow is open to the public. Learn more about the 2016 Comprehensive Plan and how to get involved on the City of Shelton's website, ci.shelton.wa.us. The Mason PUD3 Commission is opposing a carbon tax initiative, citing increased taxes on electricity customers, unclear impacts on the Washington state budget, and concerns over measuring emissions from power generation prompted the PUD3 Board of Commissioners to adopt a resolution last week opposing the Carbon Tax Initiative 732. Linda Gott, Commission President, says that while the intent of the initiative is admirable, Mason PUD3's electricity is already 97% carbon-free. Based on studies from the Washington PUD Association, the tax on the 3% of PUD's electricity that comes from natural gas and coal could increase costs to customers between $567,000 and nearly $1.9 million in the first year alone. Supporters of the initiative say it provides cleaner energy solutions by taxing carbon while offsetting increased costs with tax breaks. A developer wants to donate a historic brew house. Tumwater's mayor is expected to sign an agreement at a council meeting today that donates the 111-year-old brick structure while calling for the city to design and build public access. The agreement with Falls Development LLC asks that the historic building be remodeled and preserved. The city is working toward creating a craft brewing and distilling hub that provides jobs and contributes to the local economy. For iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3, I'm Marilyn Foster.
Arch Mechanical. Our name begins with affordable. Affordable refrigeration, cooling, and heating. Whether residential, commercial, or food service equipment, your satisfaction is of utmost importance. And with over 30 years of experience, Arch Mechanical Service is backed by a 30-day labor guarantee. Serving South and West Puget Sound, there is no need to pay for one of those big city technicians. Call 360-229-2139. Arch Mechanical. Our name begins with affordable. The Dave Ramsey Show, where common sense meets dollars and cents.
The average car payment in America today is $486 over 84 months. If you invest that from age 30 to age 70 in a decent growth stock mutual fund in your Roth IRA, you'll have $5.6 million. Hope you like the stupid car, and it's going down in value. I like cars. I'm not against cars. I'm not against you having a nice car. I'm against your nice car having you. Hi, this is Dave Ramsey. Tune into my show weekdays from noon to 3 on iFIBER ONE Newsradio.
Thriller in Houston as the Cats stun North Carolina at the buzzer. Hi, everybody. Dave Packer reporting on sports.
Ryan Arcidiacono flips to Jenkins. 3 for the win. It's good! It's good! Jenkins hits the 3 to win the national championship.
As heard on the Westwood One NCAA radio network, Villanova head coach Jay Wright.
That was just great college basketball. Two great teams. In a national championship game to hit a shot at the buzzer, I mean, I haven't seen many better than that.
The official opening day in baseball, and we already have a walk-off.
There goes the runner. There's a shot up the middle. That's a base hit. It's over. And on opening day, the Orioles get off to the best start possible in the win column on opening day.
On WJZ, O's trump the Twins 3-2. UConn women's basketball trying for its 4th consecutive title tonight against Syracuse. This is ABC Sports. The Nationals got a new second baseman in the offseason, and Daniel Murphy comes up big on day one.
Will it stay fair? It will. It's fair and headed down into foul ground. Zimmerman will score. Daniel Murphy's into second with a double.
As heard on WJFK, Nats beat the Braves 4-3 in 10 innings. Life's not fair. Just ask Seattle's Felix Hernandez. He gives up just 1 hit, but the Mariners' defense lets him down. They wind up losing 3-2 to the Rangers. Dodgers' Clayton Kershaw and Cubs' Jake Arrieta both throw gems as L.A. and Chicago cruise to victories. Last year's American League MVP picks up where he left off.
Ray's outfield shifts. Play Donaldson to pull, and this ball's drilled to left field. Jennings looks up, and it's way gone.
On CJCL, Blue Jays sink the Rays 5-3. Rockies double the D-backs 10-5. San Francisco spanks Milwaukee 12-3. White Sox hold on to beat Oakland 4-3. Cincinnati 6-2. Winners over Philly. Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
Now from the all-new Gillis Auto Center Sports Desk, here's Sean Wells.
Connor Weber had 3 hits with 3 RBIs as North Mason baseball knocked off Kingston 12-2. The Bulldogs combined for 11 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning on their way to their 2nd victory in as many games. North Mason totaled 14 hits in the contest. Shelton baseball dropped a tough one on the road at Central Kitsap 9-3. The High Climbers have a shot at redemption when they host the Cougars this afternoon. Shelton fast pitch dropped their first conference game this season, losing a tough one at Central Kitsap 10-0. The High Climbers are back in action this Wednesday, hosting Lincoln. The Seattle Mariners opened up the 2016 season on the road facing the Texas Rangers. Things started out well for the Mariners as Robinson Cano blasted one over the right field fence, giving the M's a 1-0 lead. Kyle Sear then went yard in the 2nd inning to double the lead for Seattle. But the Rangers would go on to score 3 runs in the 5th inning behind 2 Seattle errors to take the lead. Texas would hold on for the 3-2 victory over Seattle. King Felix was inconsistent on the mound for the Mariners, only giving up 1 hit, but walking 5 batters in 6 innings pitched. After the game, Seattle manager Scott Service gave credit to the Rangers and opening day starter Cole Hamels.
You know, I give credit to them. They worked away and found that way to score a few runs. And, we just, Hamels was good today. We got a couple of balls hit hard, that we got out of the ballpark. But other than that, it was just tough to mount against them.
Make sure to tune into iFIBER ONE News Radio this evening as the Mariners take on Texas in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Pre-game starts at 4 p.m., opening pitch set for 5:05. For iFIBER ONE News Radio, I'm Sean Wells.
Good morning. It's 8:40. This is Carol Gardner, and this is the weather. Scattered showers this morning, drying out by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies with temps around 60. And tomorrow, clouds early before a mostly sunny and warmer afternoon. And records might be broken on Thursday. We are looking at possibly 80 degrees. Snowman for those golfers out there.
80?
That's 80? What they say, yep.
I like it.
Right now, it's 48.
It's like double.
Now, from the iFIBER One News Radio studios, it's Daybreak. Providing local news, sports, weather, and interviews to the South South's most important people. You. From business leaders to politicians, from activists for change to advocates for the poor. Your neighbors and newsmakers are here on Daybreak.
Well, good morning to you. It's 8:41 at Daybreak. I'm Jeff, and along with Carol, we got a great guest coming up in just a little bit to talk about some events that are happening in the city of Lacey. It's Carissa Benjamin coming in to talk with us in about 4 minutes from right now. Not a lot of late-breaking news from the Associated Press, Carol, but there is one coming out of Leavenworth. Forest officials hope to get out in front of the wildfire season. We've been talking about this off and on by holding a series of prescribed burns on national forest lands in the Lake Wenatchee area. Hopefully this will help as we move forward on this summer season and lots of dry weather. The Wenatchee River Ranger District plans to conduct burns starting in mid-April, ending in early May. Burns covering about 500 acres are planned for 8 units, including areas off the Beaver Valley Highway, the Chippewa Loop Road, and the Napatech Ridge. Most of the burns will be conducted in the early morning to minimize the smoke, but it's all to help for the potential for wildfire season, which is coming up.
True. And the other wildfire season, the political season.
Wisconsin, big day today.
Yeah. I mean, it's only, 11 there in Wisconsin, and they already says Cruz is headed for victory. They're already starting to say that with the news.
I can't do that yet.
Huh? They just came out and said it.
Polls show him with a lead in Wisconsin. We'll see what happens. 8:42.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
Taylor Shellfish is a proud sponsor of the Environmentally Sound program. For 5 generations, the Taylor family's been stewards of a healthy and prosperous Puget Sound. In partnership with nature, Taylor Shellfish brings you the freshest, most sustainable shellfish you'll ever eat. Visit their store at 136 Southeast Lynch Road. Open daily from 10 to 6, and they're online at TaylorShellfishFarms.com.
Mason County Garbage and Recycling on Johns Prairie here in Shelton is pleased to offer safe and efficient removal services. Mason County Garbage and Recycling is always mindful of environmental standards and is continuously striving for the highest excellence. Mason County Garbage and Recycling, upholding your trust within the community. Questions? Call 426-8729. In Belfair, 275-4590.
This is Kathy. The best way to keep current on local news and issues is by subscribing to the Mason County Journal. The importance of subscribing to the paper hit home when the marijuana businesses started cropping up in local neighborhoods and people called the paper saying they hadn't heard about the zoning changes. I had to inform the callers that this issue had been discussed in the paper for many months, and the best way to know what was happening in their community was to read the local newspaper. As a result, many of them started up a subscription. Call 426-4412 or visit masoncounty.com to start your subscription today.
Hi, this is Terry Allen with a look at the community calendar on iFIBER One News Radio. Nonprofits post your upcoming events on iFIBER1newsradio.com. Shelton Elks holds a bingo night every Thursday. Play begins at 6 p.m. Food and beverage is available. Open to the public at 741 Southeast Craig Road. Doors open at 5 p.m. For iFIBER One News Radio, I'm Terry Allen.
iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
Well, good morning to you. It's 8:45 here at Daybreak. I'm Jeff along with Carol Gardner, and we've got another great guest in studio today. She's the event coordinator at the Lacey South Sound Chamber. We're talking with Carissa Benjamin. Good morning, Carissa.
Good morning.
How you doing? Thanks for coming in.
I'm doing good.
We're talking all things Lacey, and tomorrow afternoon you're having an event coming up, and the Thurston County Sheriff John Sness is going to be there.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes, we're having a forum at St. Martin's Worthington Center in Lacey, and he's going to be speaking to our membership, and we're going to have a nice lunch to go with it, so it'll be a good time.
So if someone's interested in going and hearing him speak on, I believe, marijuana, one of the issues and how it's working or not working in the county and things like that. So that's at the Worthington Center, and is it open just to chamber members? Or
No, it's open to everybody. If you call in today at the Lacey South Sound Chamber and pre-register, you can pay $20, or if you want to walk in, it's $25 at the door. But it's a great price for being able to see such a great speaker.
Yeah, for sure. You are the event coordinator at the Lacey South Sound Chamber. What are some of the other events that you coordinate for this chamber?
So I coordinate all of the monthly events, including a grand opening that is coming up next week at Aurora LASIK. We're actually going to see one of our members from Miss Moffat's Mystical Cupcakes, Rachel Young. She's getting a live LASIK surgery in front of everyone. So that's going to be really cool. That was really nice of Aurora LASIK to do that for us. And then I also coordinate the fundraising events quarterly. And those are the golf tournament, the barbecue festival, the annual auction, and our wild card scramble.
So there's a lot of fun that goes on. There is, wait a second. So you're going to have someone get LASIK in front of a bunch of people?
Yeah, I mean, it's behind a glass window, so it's sanitary.
Right.
But yeah, she's getting it done in front of our attendees there.
And that is from Miss Moffat's.
Cupcakes, yeah.
They've got good cupcakes.
Yeah, they do. They're really good. She's going to have a spread there, so if you really want to try one, you can come down.
Okay. Very interesting. That's very nice. So that is one of the other things that is coming up. Are these big events? You get a lot of people to show up to these?
Oh, yeah. Our golf tournament, we're expecting 144 golfers for the tournament. Barbecue festival is open to the public, and it's free, and we expect more than 15,000 people to show up this time. That's a really great one. It's just a big festival of professional food vendors from around the South Sound area that come out with their food trucks and just serve some barbecue to the public. And we have an amateur barbecue competition, which is really fun. Concerts going on, a beer garden there. So it's a really good time.
Where's that going to be held?
That's going to be at Hunter Park on July 9th.
And Hunter Park is just kind of behind Fred Meyer there, kind of by DOL.
Yeah, it's in that business park area, but it's a really nice area.
And the golf tournament, where is that held at?
At the Hawks Prairie Links Golf Course.
Man,
it's a good one.
That's a nice one. What else does the chamber do when you do these events? You do charity outreach and work with charities?
Yes. So during our annual auction, we donate $5 to a charity of our choice. This per every ticket sold. Should have said that $5 is not very much. $5 per ticket sold to the auction. And this year's choice is the Lacey Museum to honor the 50th anniversary of Lacey.
Sure.
Yeah.
You ever been to the Lacey Museum?
I don't think I have been to the Lacey Museum.
Well, we're going to have a piece of the Lacey Museum at the auction. They're donating big blown up pictures that they actually have in the museum there. So if you wanted to kind of see a piece of it, then you can come to the auction for a good night. And it's James Bond Goldfinger themed to go along with. That was 50 years ago, and Lacey was open 50 years ago, so we thought it would be a cool
So Lacey was only incorporated 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, it just seems like so much longer.
And if you're heading out Pacific, there's the roundabout near Chili Thai, which is a great Thai place. Anyways, you take the roundabout, and that's where the Lacey Museum is.
Yeah.
Nice place. I have a friend that used to work there as well. So this is a pretty cool stuff, and you really get Lacey going. How's the citizenry of Lacey react to all these fun events?
In my experience, they've reacted really well, especially the barbecue festival. We get to see that's where we see most of the community members out of all of the events. But lots of families come out. They have a really great time. They sit and watch the concerts and the chicken wing eating contests, and the guys that get involved in the Backyard Joe's, the amateur barbecue competition, have a really good time. They actually spend the night out there the night before with their smokers and everything, and some of them rent hotel rooms. I mean, it's
well, you don't want to leave your prize piece of rib there for someone else to come.
Yeah, these guys are really dedicated. They're up all night watching their meat, and it's really, really cool. But the public reacts really well to the barbecue fest, and it's really great to see them come out.
Lacey has really grown, hasn't it, in the last few years with businesses being out there? And
yeah, definitely. I grew up in the Lacey area, and then I left for college at WSU, and then I came back, and it was bigger in that 4-year span that I was gone. I was like, whoa, it's grown a lot.
It really is pushing out into, and Hawks Prairie is considered still part of Lacey, where the Lynx golf course is.
It's kind of just like a neighborhood of Lacey. Yeah.
Oh man, things really are growing up out there.
They are.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to learn more about the golf tournament at the Lynx at Hawks Prairie, or the barbecue tournament in July at Huntermore. How do you get involved? How do you get contacted?
Contact me. Okay. Contact us. Just look us up online, Lacey South Sound Chamber, and call in and ask for Carissa, and I can tell you how you can sponsor, how you can attend, how you can get involved, how you can donate, how you can volunteer, anything that you want to get involved in. LaceySSChamber.com is the website. And again, tomorrow afternoon at the Worthington Center at St. Martin's University, there's going to be a conversation with Thurston County Sheriff John Snaza about marijuana in Thurston County and its effects over the last couple years. You know, the legalization a couple years back and things like that. Again, to get into that tomorrow, you can either call ahead today or just show up to St. Martin's. You can just show up.
And if you're a business that is involved in that becomes a member of this chamber, so you have like a monthly get together for your members, and then you have a dinner, or
the monthly get-together is the forum. We have a speaker every month that comes in, and we have a lunch for everyone. And then we also have the grand openings and 501 Surge, which doesn't happen every month. We kind of alternate grand opening, 501 Surge, try to do that. But that is a networking event where everyone goes to a host business, and that host business gets exposure that way. And our members come and get to network with each other and learn more about that business. And and other people's businesses too that are there. So we really encourage our new members to do that so that everyone knows, hey, I'm here, you know.
And one more plug for Aurora LASIK, who's having their grand opening on the 11th from 5 to 6:30. This is just something I was able to quickly find on the great website, LaceySSChamber.com, for the Lacey South Sound Chamber. We're talking with Carissa Benjamin, who's the event coordinator for it. So you went to Wazoo. What did you study?
I studied sport management.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Seemed like a fun major.
Yeah.
And it was. Yeah.
Carol went to
you started doing sports in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sports are events.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm planning events.
You know, you got it going on here.
Yeah.
I like it. Very nice. Carissa Benjamin, event coordinator, 491-4141, extension 103, or kbenjamin@LaceySSChamber.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.
8:52 now at Daybreak. We're going to take a quick break, start to wrap things up here on a Tuesday on Daybreak.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER ONE Newsradio.
Looking for productive use for a bumper crop of dandelions? A brief course in dandelion cuisine today from the Old Farmer's Almanac. With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report for Tuesday, April 5th, the 96th day of the year. Screen legends Betty Davis, Gregory Peck, and Spencer Tracy were all born on this day. Dandelions pack a powerful nutritional punch, and if you know what you're doing, they can be quite delicious. Here's some advice from dandelion devotees. First, avoid the dandelions in your lawn. The best edible dandelions are from untended fields. Pick the greens early in the season, just after the bloom bud appears. Many people enjoy them raw, tossed in a salad, but you can also prepare them cooked. Just boil for 5 minutes, then season with butter and salt. A few words of caution: wash thoroughly before eating, and never use dandelions treated with herbicides. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac radio report. Find more lawn and garden tips at almanac.com.
iFIBER ONE Newsradio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3 presents Daybreak.
All right, good morning to you. It's 8:55, Daybreak. Jeff and Carol, hello.
Hello.
It's always nice to know about events and get out there and get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Remember going out to the Lacey, the fireworks extravaganza last summer. They had the military band show up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was a beautiful day, a beautiful night of fireworks. Woo-wee! Tell you what, getting ready for summertime. Spring now.
But
what day did you say it could be 80?
Thursday's what they're predicting. It's going to be about 80, so that's going to be a great day.
You ain't kidding. It's going to be a great day.
But it's not going to last all the way through till summer.
No.
I mean, so it's another little tease we got going right now, but it's great. You get to get outside. You get to get out and do your lawn. We heard earlier you should suggested call 811 before you dig if you're going to go outside, because
2 days beforehand.
2 days beforehand, they can come out or they can give you a locate, some kind of utility locate. And so then you can find out if there's something right where you were going to dig. And then you're like, oh, I need to move over 2 feet or something.
That's important.
It is important. Otherwise, you just are inconvenienced because you don't, you can't watch. What TV show are you lately watching?
Doesn't matter.
You can't listen to something because you cut right through the line or no water. And then what's your wife going to say to you?
Yeah. Or your neighbors when you cut their line.
Yeah.
8:56 now. I was playing video games last night after Kaiser went to bed. It was after 8, and I noticed that it was still light out.
Yes, it is quite light out lately.
And you're starting to get used to this new schedule where
it just doesn't bug me. I think it's from all those years living in Nevada, being used to the having a whole different system or program where I was awake mostly through the night, and then I had to sleep during the day.
There are no clocks in Las Vegas.
There are not. If you've been there, there are no clocks in the places that you go.
Well, here at iFIBER ONE News Radio, it's 8:57. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so we'll have Transit Talk with Christina Fremont, formerly Christina Kramer, the outreach manager. We're going to be talking about Ride Transit Month and what you can do to get out there and enjoy riding the bus and getting out there. You can get pretty much anywhere. You head to the Transit Community Center in downtown Shelton, and from there, you plan your route right, you can get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very cool to be able to have those resources in county that additionally take you out county to places you need to be. A lot of folks are without
transportation.
That's the word.
Individual transportation.
Individual transportation, and it's important for Ride Transit Month is the month of April. So head on to the bus. I thought about taking, in Olympia, there's the intercity transit that runs the Dash service that's from up and down from the Capitol down.
Go down to the farmer's market,
downtown,
go to the Capitol.
I thought about introducing Kaiser to his first bus ride on the Dash.
Oh, yeah, to film it.
He loves all that stuff.
We can all see what's going on.
8:57 here at iFIBER
Don't
ONE
put him
News.
on by himself.
No, I won't do that. Also, Port of Call tomorrow with Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith. Friday, we'll talk to Brad Miller from Graduation Matters Shelton. We continue on with Mariners baseball today. So Tom Hartman's coming up next. He'll be on till noon. And then Dave Ramsey from 12 to 3. We'll get an hour of Chad Benson in. And then at 4 o'clock, we jump to the Mariners pregame for game number 2, taking on the Texas Rangers once again down in Arlington. A 5 o'clock first pitch. Tomorrow will be an early morning start. Looks like the pregame at 10 o'clock with an 11 o'clock first pitch for Wednesday. And because the guys got to get to the safe for Friday night against the Oakland Athletics. 6 o'clock pregame, 7:10 first pitch. All the games all season long are right here on your only home for the Mariners in the South Sound, AM 1030 and FM 103.3. So pass on those notes to your friends who say, wow, man, it'd be great to hear the Mariners. Oh, Mariners. Well, hey, we got them on iFIBER ONE News Radio. Have a great day.